surprised that there's always that team that is up and coming and finds some absolutely exceptional performers, and that is pretty much the entire roster right now. But Glowing, of course, being substitute is my main focus point in Deco as an Opper. Opper's always, they get that extra notch from me because I have such high expectations. Same for Snacks. I mean, he is an absolute clutch king. Doesn't always necessarily have the highest score, but when he gets put in those 1vx situations, he tends to perform incredibly. This time around, though, Anonymous going for the force up. 1 AK, 1 Galil, a Deagle, Mac-10, and a Tech-9. Completely different weapons on every single player is trying to crawl in towards Secret.
Yeah, we mentioned these outside smokes and sort of how important they are to allow that safe passage. And on top of that as well, not give away too much information. Now, for Anonymous, they have managed to make their way across. They've taken damage in the kind of get-go, but for the time being, all 5 remain alive. That's the important one. They go for that peek over towards stairs. Not going to spot anyone for the time being. Innocent. Here's that leading charge, that spearhead, and well, he will have to fight Glowing up towards rafters.
Glowing on site, very much on site, is the only point of contact. He does have Deco who could rotate in quickly with some help, but Innocent finds the first kill. Glowing is dead. That's going to be ramp control. Well, just the site control outside. A nice kill coming in for Pro Play. They've already pushed forward, getting the bomb plant in, and it's going to be a 4-on-4 retake. Travis finds himself a kill with the MP9. Nice kill secured. They're going to try and gain some map control towards ramp. Close angles against Deco, but gets rushed down. K gets a kill onto Deco, and that's going to be a 2-on-2 with very little HP remaining onto Pult. Nothing he can realistically get done in Anonymous. With the nice creepy crawl all the way through towards Secret to that B bomb site, will manage to secure the force up in their favor.
Yeah, the T side, they turn it around. Of course, in that first round, picking up a bomb plant, regardless the round doesn't go your way, by just getting the bomb down, that makes your economy in a pretty healthy standing, it has to be said. So Anonymous, they use that to an advantage. While they only come in at 1 AK, supported by a couple of Galils, they make it work. And it's going to be a first round on the board. Anonymous tying things at 1 round apiece. And on the T side, picking up those sort of rounds is massive, right? For the sort of overall momentum. And on top of that, getting the round differential on your side. All tied 1 apiece now. And it's an even game once again.
Deco with the M4 as the only bought up rifle. Well, actually saved up rifle for the 1-win side. The rest on Deagles. Glowing is a very dangerous Deagler though. And so is Travis, has had some nice kills up on his belt. And Anonymous know exactly that that's the case. They're not going to rush this forward. Play it safe and secure. You don't want to just peek in willy-nilly against those Deagles, get your head chopped off. Anonymous, they're just holding it very far backwards, playing a defensive game because, well, these are normally the rounds where you just see some CTs rushing through, trying to get lobby control in the first 30 seconds, and could cost you dearly if they come from all different angles like rats scurrying about.
Yeah. I mean, especially with 1 wins by being so low, right? I mean, just that M4A1S, in that sense, I mean, if you're Anonymous, just an aggressive take. Winning those Angels could be all that's needed. At the same time, Molotov coming forward, that'll push Travis off that angle, and now he's already started to kind of scurry around, trying to reposition, trying to find some safe haven. In comes the flashbangs, caught once again. Just hold to find the opener. Might be able to double up a Kyler, finds a trade. Travis, one of his own. Nearly a second, but it's an all-out brawl fest. Yeah, it is. No, he's going to rip his head off.
Yeah, Pro Play, not a great position to be in. Gets spammed out. Glowing in a 1v1. A bomb in his control. 25 seconds left. Minio is going to crawl in. The IGL gets dealt with easily by Glowing. We're trading rounds like it means nothing right now because Anonymous lose it against 1 M4 and 4 Deagles.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, rushing onto that A site worked against them. Because, of course, in 1 win, they just shut it down. Very nice round there. Individually from Travis as well, picking up an important Deagle headshot and doing so. Well, that's sort of turned this round on its head. On top of that, they've also picked themselves up a good amount of weapons. You've got an AK coming across to support those FAMAS AUG, that double MP9 setup. Things are looking very good if you are in this current situation. The long-term economy starts to look relatively okay.
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a slow move from Anonymous again. Though they do have 2 AKs and a Galil to work with, a Deagle and a CZ for the remaining 2 players. Not much utility, barely anything left. That's going to be one of the AKs dropped. Glowing gets an opening pick, has that ramp control hold, but immediately dealt with afterwards. And outside Minio just creeps in from the side, but they're getting decimated towards ramp. And Minio now together with Snacks, the remaining 2 terrorists left in the server. Snacks has to deal with Deco creeping up forward with the AUG, crosses in but doesn't expect the angle, and it's going to be a 1-on-3. Minio did find himself a sweet kill, but Deco finds 3 in return.
Yeah, it's tough if you're Minio in this current situation, right? I mean, well, he's going to be immediately deleted by Pole from behind, and in doing so, that's of course going to be 1 win. Putting a 3rd round on the board on the CT side, regaining a relatively strong amount of control now. 1 win. They got a 2-round lead. Long-term economy starts to look healthier with weapons being saved across time after time, and well, it isn't the current situation if you are Anonymous. An eco buy about to come out for them, but Deck, I mean, he did a stellar job of just deleting them over towards ramp. 3 kills found, and of course, 3 rounds on the board now for 1 win. Odds up on your screen. Isn't one who are still the slight favourites, but as he said, 1 win looking good.
Definitely, personally, I think 1 win has what it takes to take the series. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Anonymous roster, but God, Deco's such a good opera. And they've been really good. They've had Glowing as a substitute before, and he has been pretty exceptional. I think at that game he pretty much carried their entire team. Can definitely get it done again though. Pro Play tries to get aggressive, loses his life, but still finds an MP9 kill before he falls, so that's at least some decent cash added in. They're gonna run around in towards Squeaky, where Travis is gonna be first point of contact, and they cross into him. He finds himself 1, 2, but it's all on Innocent with his own MP9 in hand, getting flagged at the same time, dealt with easily. 4-1 for 1 win, and Anonymous will at least be able to afford guns right now. But don't really think Innocent's going to drop an op, so we still don't get to see that T-side AWP.
Yeah, that's where he's known best, isn't he? He does love an AWP, and I know they like Bashy bringing out the AWP on that T-side. It definitely has its moments. I think at times it can be a bit of a risky buy. But now, no, not really worth going for the risk. If they were going to do it as well, they have to, pick one up, no head armor, which is always extremely risky, especially against, AGs and M4s. Already they're aggressive, take towards outside, 1 win, so much map control and information gained towards outside. Travis is just going to tuck himself in close. K, he's aware, he's waiting.
This is not going to be that fortuitous if 1 win tries to get aggressive, because they're just holding their angles, though Travis could be such a big key factor, especially with Pro Play playing distraction once they crawl forward. Does Anonymous expect to close angles? They haven't run it before on this map. The outside aggressive play from the 1 win side. So it might be a bit of a surprise, but Pro Play wants to go for the peak and play that mentioned distraction. Travis around the corner. Time is of the essence. Will he get checked? No, he does not. He finds the first, peeks, and makes it a second. Pushes towards the A-bomb site. At the same time comes out Kylan. Does manage to find both of them. That's the A side empty, but the back is open. And that's Travis rushing through, finding his 3rd in the round all of a sudden. Well, the terrorists will get the bomb down towards the B bomb site and plant it in, but Deco already pushed lobby from a ramp, and that's going to be all onto Snacks. The clutch master himself, 1v3, needs to get it all done, but are they going to give him those 1v1 engagements? Pro Play, he's just waiting for his teammates to cross towards the site and give information on where Snacks is positioned.
Oh, he might be able to net himself a bit of a frag. Oh, he's trying to play this perfectly. He's found Travis. In 1 versus 2, this now becomes extremely doable. Swinging forward, make that another to a prop player. No way. He's made this work. The attack going through. Deco will find the frag, but it won't take away from the fact. Snacks, he's clutched out the round. He's found it. That's Anonymous putting a 2nd on the board. And Truman, in a 1 versus 3, Snacks wins out. That is stunning start from Snacks individually. And as you mentioned, the clutch master finding it.
Yeah, and a 1v3 gets 2, but keeps them at bay long enough to make sure that the bomb explodes, secures the round in their favor. Of course, Snacks, the clutch master from the Anonymous side, the one that you want to have alive when it's in that final situation of the round, manages to get it done. The odds over at Pinnacle do pretty much keep it close the entire time, and I think that's going to be the case for quite some time, because they're going to make it definitely competitive. I mean, you are on the T side of Nuke, so winning 5-6 rounds is enough to give you a solid advantage.
Okay, well now, I mean, for Anonymous, they've sent it down to that secret position. Once again, it seems to be a bit of a default for them, right? Down towards secret, go towards B, go for that B pass or the post pass there, glowing, pushing forward. Catches the first towards Snacks, looks to make it 2 towards Minio, doesn't quite hit the target, but still remains alive for the time being. Now, damage dealt, and again, he finds a second. Deco one of his own, which is out by the back 10 of Minio, reload coming forward. 34 points of health, Poplar drops K, it's all onto one man, and Minio. It was like a deer in headlights there as 2 players run across the screen. Of course, it's once again going to be 1 win. This time a significantly more comfortable B-side hold in their favour, right? They've locked it down, multiple players over there, trades coming forward, and of course, Anonymous struggling to hit the target. That's going to be a 5th on the board for 1 win, a 3-run advantage once again, and well, then just keeping an arm's distance away.
It's going to be, well, that AWP again in hands of Deco, but it's up against just blocks. When you go for Minio, that's about it. The bomb gets dropped inside fence, so that's full control already. Deco trying to take a fight, but right now just needs backup from his teammates. Speaking of which, close range, Snacks is going to get jumped upon, pounced down, and it's all on to Innocent in a 1vx situation. Trying to get himself on the bomb, maybe rush it, defend it. Knife! Oh! Tried to go for the backstab knife, but it somehow did not seem to work. That's a rather big surprise. Normally that's almost a surefire way to get a kill.
For a second I thought that was going to work, but now, with a 6th on the board, a 4th round lead. No, they are going to call for a tactical timeout. I think this is probably not a bad time to call it. Their economy's in a good enough state where they can, pick up a pretty comfortable buy, start thinking about this next round ahead. But at the same time, they're actually just struggling, right? I mean, they're really struggling to kind of find their way on towards the site, find their way in that post-bomb position, which is where they're most comfortable. We saw earlier, Snacks in the 1 versus 3. They love a post-bomb position because that's where they feel generally most confident. Well, for the time being, it's been, asking a little bit too much, it seems.
Yeah, especially that round that they managed to get themselves close to his B, they just got completely dealt with. Yep, Snacks is a gorgeous, gorgeous human being.
What a man.
We do have a game to watch, and luckily we'll be getting on with it right now. Again, no op for the T side. I mean, of course, Nuke T side opping is not superb, not everyone's forte, but I really want to see Snacks take that duel against Deco to see which of those two will come out on top. And speaking of Deco, creeping up all the way towards Secret, trying to lock down any outside pushes, because you mentioned that they do like to head down towards that Secret position and hit up that B bomb site.
Yeah, it's their default, it seems, that's right. Make the way towards outside, but Deco, he's read into this. He's sort of waiting in his own regard for an opportunity. It's all about timing on this peak here. He's got to play things past here. As we said, Deco's got 11 and 3. He's normally the one that's post up towards that round position, in towards heaven though. IUG could spot out something with a deep push coming forward. Proplet, it's all about timing his peak. Spots okay, finds a damage, drops the bomb as well. That's huge. Kylie now needs to find a trade, gives away his position, and now Proplet remains alive in the current situation, but the trade comes forward.
Oh, and he finds himself a second. The bomb is dropped outside though, so still needs to be recovered, trying to creep up in towards the A bomb site. But in the meantime, it's going to be Travis pushing Squeak because he knows he's being flanked from behind. Picks up that AK and falls back. Kyler versus Glowing. This is all about timing. And Glowing just spot his leg. Kyler gets himself his 3rd of the round, but there's Glowing waiting outside for his opponent to peek into him, and it's all against Snacks in a 1v2 situation. Clutch situation's not going to work in his favor because Glowing is still left alive. 9 kills for the substitute and a 7-2 scoreline for 1 win there. CT side is looking dominant right now.
He's done a fantastic job, Glowing, coming in, right? But as you mentioned, another one, Deco, I kind of spoke about him earlier, but he individually has been brilliant. He's been aggressive when needed most, but at the same time passive when things are slightly risky. Of course, still in favour of Anonymous for the time being. I guess understandable, right? They're on that T-side nuke, so I can see why they're still feeling confident in the Polish roster, but for the time being, this is all going the way of one win. And with an awkward buy coming up for Anonymous, just the pistols, this could be an 8th on the board, a 6-round lead, and already guaranteeing themselves a lead heading into the second half. I mean, one win, we mentioned coming into this, their form recently has been crazy good, and it seems to be proving it here.
Of course, this is the map choice of Anonymous, so I expect them to have a solid performance, though. Yeah, Glowing has done such a great job holding Ram, falling back at the right time. No, the rushing was hell, and they managed to overwhelm one of the players. The USB in hand, Taco still finds himself a catch, but there's the AWP in Snax' hand, and an AUG for K. They don't have any armor on the terrorist side, though. But it is a 3-on-3, and it's definitely doable with this big, heavy weaponry that they've got included. K trying to push towards the A bomb site, possibly, maybe get himself a quick pick. There are still 45 seconds left, so they can always adjust either the A or the B bomb site, depends on if they find something for free. Pro play very far away to defend any of these two sites, though. But it's Glowing down below, and up top you've got Travis towards Squeak, just checking out Heaven, spotting if anyone's going to peek right through, and they're going to go for that B bomb site hit. Glowing in an off angle, might not be expected. Okay, drops Travis. Kyler drops Glowing. All of a sudden it's all on to Pro play in a 1v3 situation. Can he win this? It's a very tough one to go for. He's just going to push through the smoke. After he tosses out his own drop to the side, no time left, kills them both, and he just has to stay alive. The round secured.
No way.
Hero play with a hero play. 1v3, drops the bomb, drops the second, gets out of dodge, and how do they lose that round? Perfectly done from Pro play on the 1-win side.
That is insane individually. We spoke about, earlier how Snax in a clutch situation, 1 versus 3. He loves an opportunity or pro play of his own. That is stellar from him. I mean, what a performance in that round. Finds the opening frag with the player drop down towards Heaven, then repositions a second on towards the man outside A main, and of course, just like that, a 6-round lead, as I mentioned. It's now 1 win. We've already guaranteed themselves a lead heading into the second half. Okay, we'll go down with Snax, finds the trade as pro player out of the round, and the Clutch Master beats the Clutch Master of the other side. Now, in a 4-on-3 situation, still the man advantage in favour, with Deco finding an off shot.
And Glowing on towards that B-bomb, so needs to be careful for Window right now, because there is someone hiding in that area. That's why he's going to push completely differently. And will be able to drop the bomb as well. They know exactly where he was playing from, and the moment he peeks in further, he's actually gonna find Minio as well. It's all on Innocent in a 1vx clutch situation. Of course, this is where Snax is sublime, but can Innocent get it done himself? Creeps past enemy lines, and through the smoke he goes, but doesn't check his angles, and he's already being pushed in from behind. That's 9-2, and 1 win. They are 7 rounds ahead right now, and Anonymous, they're getting absolutely squashed.
Yeah, they're all being dumpstered here. It's just not going their way at all. They're really struggling, Anonymous, and this is a map in which usually Anonymous are relatively comfortable on, right? They, time and time again, kind of show their dominance and show their prowess, especially on that T side. It's credit where credit's due for 1 win, because they're putting up a real fight for the ages here, and Anonymous, I guess in this situation, they're going to call for a timeout once again, but it's a rough one if you're Anonymous. You're 7 rounds behind, no momentum by any means kind of in your favour. Things aren't looking good, say the absolute least, but 1 win. Credit where credit's due, they're looking fantastic.
That's really absolutely exceptional performance from the 1-win players. Of course, just Deco is an insane opera, and starting on the CT side definitely does help on a map like Nuke. T-op is rather tough. 14 out of 5. Can't talk enough about this guy, though. Deco, can he spot? Well, he does spot out Minio. That nade doesn't go as deep as you would like, but still a decent amount of tag damage onto Minio. In the meantime, you've got pro play as well down secret if they are going to go for the outside cross on the Anonymous side. But we haven't seen that many inventive. We have barely even seen any rush plays from the Anonymous team. No, like, super quick control plays outside. Some individual jumpers that just rush down towards Mini outside, but no collective where they try to rush it down. Deco long range tries to find something, but it's going to be towards the B bomb site where most of the action seems to transpire for the time being, because pro play has to deal with 3 terrorists on the other side.
Now, of course, still a 5 versus 5, but the T side are taking the initial sort of points of damage. They're sort of waiting. Wobbler just jump peeking above this. Needs to be careful. When he gains information, then he might fall off. They have just spotted one as well, and I think now pro play will. We're going to close the door behind him, reposition that close angle. He's waiting for an opportunity to frag. Falls off towards radio. As the support comes through from glowing, this could be a nasty hold here towards double door.
Oh, and he finds them both as well, Neo. It's just everything is going terribly wrong. Minio dealt with, and it's all on a solo innocent 1v5. Well, he could have managed to win the 1v4, so the 1v5 seems impossible, and exactly that. 10-2 and 1 win. They break double digits this early in the first map.
Already, I mean, 1 win. We mentioned coming into this, they were definitely a side to be feared, right? And definitely not one to sleep on it. Also, it's sort of showing that, you know, glowing coming into this roster, he's a new pickup, I guess you could say, into this lineup. He's been fantastic, individually brilliant. He's playing that sort of solo ramp position, which is at times quite isolated and quite a tough one to hold. I mean, you've got such a big presence on your shoulders, but he's looking fantastic. Now Deco's going to aggress in towards main. Looking to find something with the AWP. No peek through the doors for the time being, as the T-side are looking to make their way towards outside. Their default, a standard, an outside push, and make a decision off that. Boy, his prop player's waiting. Oh no. Oh, it's just too easy for him.
Deals with them easy and successfully. Snacks, however, finds the trade with the P250, but utility is barely existent. No HP on Snacks, pretty much. Yeah, it's a very tough situation unless Innocent hits an absolute godlike opening pick there. Deco could definitely get overwhelmed with that AWP down towards fence. Long range, Kyler, gotta find those clean headshots to get you an advantage. Crawling up vents. Deco, no fear whatsoever to take that duel. And they made it very interesting, but all of a sudden it's on a solo. Kyler and Deco gets the no-scope on the ladder, because, you know, why not? Everything is working out on the one-win side anyway.
Everything is going the way of 1 win. Of course, you know, this map is generally seen as, you know, being more CT-sided. So it's understandable that 1 winner in the lead, but not by this much. I mean, this is so one-sided. And Anonymous, everything they're trying, they're immediately being completely and utterly just destroyed, denied, and completely dumpstered. There's going to be an 11th on the board, an 11-2 scoreline as well, Truman. This is looking like it could be a quick map number 1.
Deagle, really, Deco, up on his back, runs across back towards main, and he kills him with the Deagle headshot 1-tap. Sure, okay, why not add salt to the wounds? That's, you know, okay, sure. Flaunt your dominance right now, because that's exactly what we're seeing only right now from 1 win. It's pure and utter annihilation for the Anonymous side, and it's... I'm gonna just cough it up to that's that, you know, 1 hour of sleep difference. 100%. They got their DMs in Anonymous. They got some extra rest.
We said, right? Is there a potential that, you know, 1 win have maybe a slight advantage, you know, being awake for an extra hour, a little bit more DM time, and it seems to be exactly that. Anonymous yet to have their morning coffee. I mean, they're struggling to the absolute least, and a 10-round deficit in the first half, Truman. 10-round deficit. I mean, this has been one of the most one-sided maps we have seen in such a long time. Heading to round number 15. This is a potential for 1 win to make it a 13-2 scoreline, which by then, surely is game, set, match already.
Oh, yeah, this opening map, it just doesn't ever get any easier. Glowing even pushing from ramp. The flag is coming through, and Well, good luck, Kay. You're in a 1vx situation where everyone in your team pretty much has been put in so far. 1:25 seconds left on the clock. He's got 4 kills in total, so, well, that would actually be a very good round if he manages to win it, but all things considered, very tough to get done, because 1 win, they're just feeling it right now. They're awake. They're even finding their aggressive kills, whereas Anonymous, they've completely stopped holding their angles. They haven't stopped to just keep a passive hold on everything anymore. They just have been rushing all over the place in the last couple of rounds, and 1 win abused that fact, because that's the point where, you know, nothing seems to be working for the terrorist side, so they let go of every single defensive strat that they have, and they just try to rest the enemy, which some teams, to be fair, old Virtus Plow could get done, but
yeah, for sure.
It's against 1 win, their aim is just on point.
It's been completely one-sided so far. I mean, 1 win, they are just destroying them. And it's not even, I mean, to a degree, of course, you know, 1 win, they're outplaying them, they're outmaneuvering them perfectly. But on top of that, I mean, they're 50-50 duels, they're aim duels. It's all going the way of 1 win. And, well, I mean, if you are the Polish side, things aren't quite going your way. They come forward into his heart, though, and that's a lot of damage. Probably finds the opener, but the duelie's trying to find a double. Will he find one? Only one. I mean, comes to support from Unison, and just like that, it's Paul now left in a 1 versus 3.
And Anonymous finally win another gun round in their favor. It is the pistol secured, so at least something. I mean, I've definitely seen 13-2 scorelines on older, well, like a year ago nuke, where it turned out into a 15-15. It's a very long road ahead, but the plus side is, of course, T-opping isn't as easy as the CT side, so that might be a bit of a factor. But as you said previously, Neo, it's, you know, it's still a deficit that very little teams do manage to come back from. But it starts off nicely with Snacks getting a nice, easy MP9 kill through the smoke.
What a way to start it, right? Pick up that opening shot, and in doing so, a man advantage gained. And when you're 1 win, you've got just a force buy in your favor with Deagles, now 1 scout. Final opening frag, that is monumental. MP9 doubles up from K as he finds Polt. It's a 4 versus 3 situation as, hello, Deco finds K. So now we're in a 3 versus 3, and actually, it's become slightly more doable.
Especially because ramp control is now in the 1 win favor. There's no one to defend that B bomb site currently if they would rush it down. Snacks, Deagle against him, but Pro Play doesn't connect the shots, so Snacks will be able to get away with his life. In the meantime, Deco outside. Here's someone rushing through vents. If he takes down the player on Heaven, that could be everything. Snacks in the meantime. Oh, down to 14 HP, but he gets 3 kills in the round. And Pro Play, 1 man with a Deagle that has to try and make it work. Definitely does need to try and get that bomb planted at the least, but that might already be a little bit too tough of an order to achieve.
Feels like it's asking maybe just a little bit too much, but I guess, you know, silver linings of your 1 win, it's a really awkward buy for them. So to find, you know, even a couple of frags is, of course, a big positive. If you can get the bomb down, that'd be huge. He's going to get that smoke, trying to get it down. It's huge for economy, getting it down. Oh, he's going to do it. So that's the only positive they needed. We'll get on to a HE at his feet, but he will manage to get that bomb down. So that's the priority, right? When you're coming in with just a deco, that's what you're looking for. And to find that all on its own, that's enough if you're 1 win.
2 kills, bomb plant would mean that on their pie they at least have something very solid, or they could go for a couple of deagles this time around, which they still will have a solid pie when it comes to that point. But nonetheless, the round secured for Anonymous. And they're still looking pretty good. It's going to be a full force up for 1 win, though. 3 Galils, an AK, and, well, the scout in the hands of Deco is pretty much exactly like an AWP. So that shouldn't be too big of a problem, though it is rather surprising that they immediately go for the full force up.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a bomb down, you can allow yourself essentially to pick up a relatively comfortable buy. The FAMAS. Oh no, that's not a good way to start things off.
Well, that scoreline between Deco and Snacks just went from 3-1 to 4-1 in favor of Deco, who's winning those duels between the two sides. Now it's going to be an outside control play by 1win, but K's on that flank. He's looking for more, but he gets spotted out. Poltz holding the flank of Glowing, and that's a rather surprising hold from the player on top of Mini. So outside, creeping up, Innocent's going to go for the peak, spots out Pro Play, but does he expect the player right around the corner? And that's going to be Deco. The reload comes in. He hears the sound cue, and the push towards the A-bomb site is imminent. It's going to be Kyler that has to deal with the terrorists right now. Does have some backup from Minio, but immediately deleted as well. So low, Kyler, and it seems the force up is looking very likely to take home the round, and that means DK Truman is a terrible analyst because their force up is very successful right now, unless Kyler can go absolutely nutty and lock him down. Does see them crossing through. Travis tagged up, but the Galils win it out against the FAMAS, and that is, again, 10 rounds apart between the two sides.
Yeah, I mentioned, right, when you can pick up a bomb plant, especially when you're coming into that second round forge, you haven't won the initial pistol round, so you've only got the Deagles coming out, maybe a Scout, which is what they had, right? It's a full force with not the best weaponry, so your priority is getting a bomb plant, because by getting a bomb plant, that alone allows you to pick up a couple of AKs, some Galils, and enough, weaponry and firepower to maybe give yourself a chance. It's exactly what 1win did. They prioritized the bomb going down, so knew it allowed them to get a buy coming into next, and well, they've proved it useful. They've picked up a 14, as you mentioned, and now once again a 10-round advantage. And I don't know, things are going from bad to worse. 1win, they are 2 rounds away from taking map number 1 already.
This time, finally, we do get to see that AWP on Snacks, though. That makes me happy, but it's kind of late in the game where you finally get to see him hopefully perform or miss the shot. Luckily, there is Kate to still find the frag, regardless, hiding behind that one-way smoke. Pro play outside. Kate finds a second kill. 1win players starting to drop a little bit, though. Finally, he does get overwhelmed. Kyler on the A-bomb site finds one, immediately traded out by Glowing. Big props for the sub, and he even deals with Snacks. It's a 2-on-2. Really? Glowing gets that much done. Even checks his flag, does spot out Minio, gets slightly tagged up, but it's going to be Innocent in vents, and trying to retrieve the bomb, which is still towards T-spawn right now, gets picked up. But where is that second CT player? That's the problem. Minio, he pushed in towards lobby, and it's going to be all the way crawling outside. Glowing could head towards that A-bomb site to get the plant in. Poltz has still got a pretty decent lockdown on the site, or so he thinks, because the player event might be a big surprise factor if they go for the plant. Poltz going to go for the peak, and Minio around the corner does get taken care of. I think Minio had the worst timing there to look away. It's going to be all on Innocent. Another 1vx situation for the Anonymous players to deal with.
Of course, 1 versus 2 now. Bomb planted. Innocent going aggressive, trying to isolate these fights, and he could actually find out Poltz. We'll find out Poltz. Oh, gets the damage. He doesn't get the frag. Oh, that was ever so close. But, of course, there's going to be 1win. A 15th on the board. A 11-round advantage in the 1 versus 2 there. It's unfortunate, 3 HP for Glowing, but he did find 3 frags. So, individually from him, once again, brilliant. We've sung his praises already because he has been fantastic. And, well, of course, 15-4. I think this map, may I say, is one and done. And this is map number 2 where Anonymous need to recover.
One Win o wiele lepiej weszło w to spotkanie, kiedy już zaprezentowało nam z samego początku, przynajmniej po tej stronie broniącej, że poprawili swoją grę od ostatniego czasu. Wydaje mi się, że jak na razie Anonymo będzie musiało ze spokojem przeanalizować, uspokoić się. Okej, jest to jedna mapa w plecy, ale już nie takie wyniki odrabialiśmy, więc bardzo liczę na to, że będzie po prostu Anonymo, które lubi wracać do spotkań, lubi nam dawać tą dawkę emocji, o której też rozmawialiśmy przecież nawet dość niedawno. Razem z mieliśmy okazję gdzieś przeanalizować te całe pojedynki Anonymo, które raz się kończyły katastrofalnie i były cały czas w toku, a jednak te playoffy są. I to, co chciałem też powiedzieć, że w sumie samo Ako też zaskoczyło. Przecież miał wynik 0-2 i 3-2 doszło do playoffów, więc bardzo mocno trzymam kciuki za to, że gdzieś ten Dusty Mirage pojawi się w o wiele lepszym stanie niż sama Nuke. Jednak realia są jakie są i po prostu zobaczymy to na serwerze, co nam zaprezentują dwie formacje.
Nie ukrywam, że bardzo, bardzo mocno boję się tego Nuke'a. Mam nadzieję jednak, to ułożyło, więc do zobaczenia po przerwie i za moment wracamy z mapą DAS 2.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back to get underway into map number 2. And, well, Truman, I think we're safe to say that map number 1 was relatively one-sided.
That kind of definitely was. We'll be back here, though, for game number 2. And will Anonymous be at least able to perform dearly here to try and keep their hopes and dreams alive in the Spring Cup? Crossing towards the site, Minio does find a catch on Bolt. That's if you got no cross smokes, it's very dangerous to make that jump happen, especially considering the bomb is still not crossing over just yet. 4-on-4 ensues. Travis on the ramp, spots Stacks inside the smoke, but that flash is on point, completely blinded. Travis is taken care of. Long range fights. Favors, of course, CT side, but Glowing rushes through mid and he gets another catch. But the problem is the bomb. The bomb is in control of Anonymo.
Yeah, exactly. The bomb's in control. PT50 still trying to take a couple of pop shots, but for the time being, not really connecting with anything. HE could cause a bit of damage, though, and well, Deco will be dropped to 55, Glowing down to 73 now, as both teams, all about who can just connect with that awkward headshot. Just over 40 seconds left on the clock, but Innocent, he hears a sound cue, he's waiting.
Oh, needs to find that quick headshot tap, but it's getting too dangerous. Through towards mid, double doors. Minio trying to keep them at bay as well. 2 separate 1v1s, but Deco wins the fight against Innocent and is going to rush towards that A bomb site. And again, it seems likely that the original pistol winners for the 1-win side on Nuke might be able to get it done. Again, Glowing and Deco, the 2 players you got to keep your eyes on, will be able to stay alive and both get a kill in 2 kills in the pistol round. That's going to be 1 win with the opening pistol, and well, immediately we get the tech pause.
Yeah, 1 win looking fantastic, though. I mean, has to be said, they've been looking really, really good. Not only, of course, map number 1, that was very one-sided, 16-4, but a relatively comfortable start. They pick up a pistol round, and now in doing so, of course, a pistol round, a bomb going down, and economy looking very, very good. They're going to be able to pick up themselves up AKs and Galils to support, alongside full armor and utility. When we take a look towards Anonymous, I mean, that economy, not great. Just going to see, at most, sort of upgraded pistols, but if I'm the CT side, I'd probably go for a more passive buy. A PT50 at most. Oh, well, they're not going to do that. They're going to go for the full expenditure. Double scout supported by 3 Deagles. It's a risky buy, and against sort of AKs and Galils, you really have to back your aim of those Deagles.
Snack's not even keeping extra op money. That's something I don't really like to see. I really want the inevitable first op on the gun round, but 2 scouts can definitely turn it around through those mid double doors rushing through. You see it happen way too many times, just a wall bang headshot through those paper thin walls. Right now, though, 1 win, they're not gonna give Anonymous any opportunities here to try and come back and surprise them. That's why they went for the boost play. That's why they're playing so passively on the T side right now. Don't want to accidentally rush into your opponents and give them a nice AK pickup. Glowing and try and go for the jump up outside towards long. Travis goes for the peek, but it's K. He's trying to stay distracted. Well, have Kyler as a distraction while he hides behind the car and try and baits them in. Gets taken down to 7 HP though, and the wallbang is enough to just finish him off. That's a very sad end to K's round. Oh, but look at that push coming forward. Innocent though with the deagle does find himself a nice double kill with the D, and all of a sudden it becomes a lot more doable here for the CT side.
Yeah, this becomes awkward for the CT side. I mean, not awkward. Awkward for the T side, man. I said, they lost. There's 2 initial 1D extenders, and they're brilliant, but can they carry it on? They haven't managed to pick themselves up any weapons for the time being. HE comes forward onto a sight, does a bit of damage onto the prop layer, but for the time being, Travis, he's tucked himself in that close angle. We're also going to deny any sort of weaponry being dropped over towards the CT side for the time being. They're spamming through the smoke to no avail. When Travis and Propler are waiting, you'll see the fight. Now, one big forward from Innocent, finds some damage on towards the second, but it's Snacks left in a 1 versus 2. And with the bomb so far ticked, he is just going to set up for those exit frags. It's going to be 1 win. Putting a second round on the board, but Anonymous, they do make it expensive, so a silver lining there.
It's a pretty costly round in that regard. Snacks also keeps the scout alive, so he has something to work with in this round. Innocent made some extra nice cash with those deagle kills. So all things considered, not that bad of a round for the Anonymous side. Unfortunately, you can't save an AK, but with the Scout might be able to deal some more damage. 3 deagles as well for the CT side. And Snacks just need to find that headshot with the Scout to make some extra little bit of cash so that he can afford an AWP. Come on, Pro Play, feed me that kill. Is exactly his thought right now, but it is going to be the opening frag for Deco rushing forward out towards A-Long together with Travis. That's full control of the A-Long position, and just like that, Anonymous, very slim chances to win the round have easily been dealt with. Glowing 5-1 as well, looking pretty good for the 1-win side. But now they'll get tested because now the first gun round comes in. Snacks is going to pick up that AWP double op setup as well for the CT side, but both on that glass cannon.
Do you know what? I'm a fan of the glass cannon. In certain situations, it's a lovely double spray down to sort of give him that round. It's got the guns on his side a little bit, and the pinnacle odds up on your screen, they're heavily favouring 1-win, and we can see why, right? I mean, they've been looking brilliant so far, but of course, Orbs coming out, Snacks and Kyler looking to use the high-impact weaponry of the double orb setup to work in their favour. He comes to utility to force Minio back off this angle in towards a deep, short position, and now he's going to hold and jiggle peek.
Well, will they check the angle? He's actually just going to drop off instead of hold it down. Snacks with the op. Creeping up to Goose right now for the long-range angle, hoping someone's going to feed him a kill. But it is kind of risky. You are glass cannon, and there's still a bit of utility left on the 1-win side. Luckily enough, 1-win don't have a full set of nades left. So they pretty much have one solid execute, and that's about it. Kyle's jumping up over the smoke, trying to see if he sees any of the T's peeking through on the other side. It is, of course, high risk, high reward going for that jump, because if all of a sudden there are 2 T's in that area, you get completely decimated.
Yeah, exactly that. And Minio's holding from ramp. He's waiting for an opportunity. Snacks playing a sort of a passive angle over towards a long position, waiting for an opportunity. In comes the utility, and now he'll support. The flashbang comes forward, and the Molotov to keep them at bay, and the T's have to be forced back. Now things become awkward for 1-win. I mean, they're kind of trapped between smokes here, just waiting for a lifeline.
Snacks holding the smoke cross as well, finds himself a quick first. K out towards A-Long, that means there's no flank coming through, and the remaining T's are just going to bail out to try and keep their guns alive. It's Deco and Pro Play the last 2 remaining T's and nothing much more. 1-win get decimated. The utility from Anonymo, perfectly on point. The molly to force them back, the flash to actually get them inside the molly, or, well, behind the molly from Snacks. And at that point, they're stuck between smokes and mollies, and they have nowhere they can run without just straight up rushing out cold turkey and getting decimated. And a very solid use of utility from the Anonymo side to just straight up almost win the round just based on their util game.
Once again, Anonymo doing what we know they can do best, right? Utility game was excellent, gave them an opportunity and a window to find a couple of frags there, and exactly what Snacks does, right? We kind of spoke about the glass cannon with the orbs and no armor. Well, it's worked in their favor. Credit where credit is due, and on the Polish side, put a first on the board, and now looking to further extend this. Double orb still in play, supported by an AK and 2 M4s, but their short is slightly compromised. Minio just peeking with a Molotov, waiting, and now he might drop it momentarily.
It's going to be Snacks with that AWP, of course, towards ramp, holding anyone pushing towards the A site, but there's plenty of time on the clock. 1-win, they're just holding that default position, waiting for Anonymo aggression, which honestly they don't do too much on the CT side. And not as much as some other Polish teams out there. They just like holding reasonably far passive angles, which, you know, I prefer teams that are a little bit flexible in that regard, especially if you go for like a tunnels push, could give you so much intel. It doesn't always mean that you need to get a 4 frag kill, but just having the information for the rest of your team to know what might be coming your direction. For instance, right now it is going to be the group up towards a short and 1 A long. K is going to get aggressive, but Pro Play, he waits it out and wins out that fight. That molly from the CTs again, perfect timing, keeps the terrorist delayed for just a little bit longer, makes it problematic. Minio even crawling past the smoke, and this could be everything. He finds Travis, sprays further, only finds himself one with a lot of damage on a second, but Snacks on that AWP long range needs to take these fights. Spots glowing, crossing in, gets the kill, but he's out in a very uncomfortable position against Deco. It's going to be the bomb planted. Is it on time? Yes, just barely. Oh my god, that's threading the needle on the 1-win side, and a 3-on-3 retake, 2 through CT, 1 from A long. That's going to be the case. Innocent creeping in and crawling further forward, but Deco with the first drops down. Snacks, he picked up the AWP. Innocent gets dealt with by Pro Play, and it's going to be all on to Kyler. 1v2 off in hand, tries to go for the jumping no scope. No Kukli game for you. It is going to be 1-win securing the round, but Anonymous, they had every opportunity there to secure it in their favor.
Well done once again for 1 win. They sort of regain a bit more of a comfortable showing. Their short default works in their favour. Deco spotting on Snacks there as well. That was a pinnacle frag, I'd say. You know, with Snacks going out of the equation, and they all just started to fall one by one. And of course, the Kukli not quite working, meaning that it's going to be 1 win. Winning that 4th on the board, once again taking a 3-round advantage. Now, if you're that CT side for Anonymous buying into next, very unlikely they're going to get an orb coming into this, right? Unless they go for that glass cannon once again, which in all fairness has worked. You could see maybe that happen, but actually they're going to go for the full eco. So they're going to go for just the deagles, small amounts of utility to allow them into that next round to buy comfortably, have the, you know, orb, armor, utility into support, and well, I'm actually a fan of this buy.
Yeah, a couple of deagles. Next round, 2,900 added in. You've got the AWP that you can go for on Snacks, and possibly Kyler as well if you want to. So all things considered, it's a solid buy into the next round regardless. And with a couple of deagles, they can get a lot done. They have a pretty far top mid controlled by Minio, whereas the rest of the team is grouping up to defend that A bomb site. And while the terrorists, they will have to cross through the smokes that they're probably going to toss, or is this going to be a dry peek, which would be even way deadlier for the T side, because there are a lot of deagles on the other side. Kyler gets taken care of first, and surprisingly enough, they decimate the CT side. It's still K right behind the smoke though, and they have some inkling that that might be the case. Definitely thought Anonymous had a better chance in the round, but they just got completely deleted. Not a single kill secured for the CT side. And please, I beg you, don't make this a repeat of Nuke.
A flawless round there for the T side. I mean, they're really sort of dictating their playstyle, dominating the entire, not only momentum, but this round and this game in general so far. I mean, it's only 1 round picked up by Anonymous, but as we mentioned, right, they're now going for that full expenditure, and the double orbs had to once again coming out. Now this time they've got the armor to support. Can this be enough to actually what they're doing? Even actually the glass cannon for Snacks and Kyler. This could become slightly awkward. You know, all it takes is 1 AK shot to really take them down low.
How low can you go? Tag on to Deco and Travis. Sorry, on Glowing and Travis towards mid. No damage has been traded through, but Kyler and Snacks, glass cannon, AWPs again. Rather surprising that both those oppers did not tag each other up so far. Pope's actually going to go for the aggressive peek, and he deals with Snacks, takes him down quickly. Minio, however, sees them almost lining up, pushing towards that A-bomb site. Can he hold down the ramp position? He does find Deco, creeps and crawls, kills off Travis, completely blinded, dancing past the molly, but forces him in an absolutely atrocious position, kept up all the way in the back, and it's going to be the push towards the A bomb site to get the plant in. Pro Play is going to go for the full stick inside the smoke. Takes some nade damage coming through, but it is a 3-on-3 retake, and Glowing finds the first long range stabs, pulled very low in HP, but very low does not mean dead so far. Glowing should have known that there was a player out towards A long though, so a little bit risky jumping with no HP across the angle. Okay, pushing in, spots out Pro Play, but still the kill picked up by Pro Play. Regardless, the op flick from Kyler not going to connect. Oh no, a second chance. USP in hand does find the kill finally, but it's a one-on-one, no time left, and that's the round secured for one win. That's 6-1, and Anonymous, the Polish team, is absolutely not ready to play right now because one win are on a tear. They, of course, have very capable lineup, but some of the Anonymous players, it just doesn't feel like they're completely awake.
I have to agree with you. It just seems like one win are significantly the better side, right? They're well and truly in control of this. I mean, it's the funny thing about it as well is that if you look, back to the Spring, the regionals that were done, a couple of weeks ago now, Anonymous actually ended up taking down one win in that situation. That was 2-1 in favor of the Polish side. Since then, it seems to be nothing but W's if you are the one-win side. They're looking really good in terms of their form, and of course it's showing here. Anonymous, once again, just a save coming forward. That AWP saved the cross, dropped over towards Snack, so slightly more positive, but only supported by Deagles. This is well and truly looking in favour of one win to put 7th on the board once again.
Well, they went for a smokeless peak last time, so they might do it again this time around. Snacks with the AWP has a good angle for it though, and they are going to give him that possibility. Finds the first Travis, crosses in, does stay alive for the time being. It's going to get aggressive, but Snacks with that AWP finds himself too, jumping across up top to peek over the wall. See if there's anyone peeking through K towards short though. Pro Play on the other side. This is a timing game. The peek comes in, doesn't expect K that close. That's going to be the AK recovered. And is this actually going to be the round? 2 kills for Snacks, 1 for K. Snacks holding all the way in the back. Minio with the deagle on site for anyone that crosses through. There's no utility left for the one-win side. So will they deny the Brazil? Deco spots out Minio. Or actually, Minio spots out Deco. And 35 seconds left on the clock. This is dangerous for the terrorists. They're even going to go for the peak with the AWP boosted up top. See if he can spot someone in the back, but on the side is the deagle of Minio keeping them at bay, and right now it's just safe territory for the terrorist side. Exactly that. Finally, Anonymous get themselves another round. It starts off with another attempt without any cross smokes, which, this is still Dust 2. The A-bomb site is very dangerous to cross into if the enemy actually has guns.
It's risky, man. Really, they're trying to go for these try peaks to get informational plays and, maybe even get themselves an opening frag without sort of giving up any sort of allure as to where they're going. But at the same time, going for try peaks without the utility, it's so risky, and you're always going to pay the price. Snacks, nice on the shot there. Coming on towards Travis, always able to double up as well. It's a questionable sort of peak there, I guess, if you are one win and Anonymous. They punished them for it. A second on the board for them. They brought the deficit back to only 4 rounds now, and, well, this could be maybe the beginning of something.
Well, just like last time, on the gun round, they win a round, but can they at least string some in a row? Because that's where their problems really come through. Though, to be fair on Nuke, it just was in general, they didn't win any rounds, so even a loose round wasn't on the cards. It was just mainly the first couple of rounds in the half that they managed to secure, and then all of a sudden it went full potato mode. Right now, the mid-cross comes in, and something that they haven't actually done. One win haven't hit the B-bomb site whatsoever this entire game just yet, and Deco with an opener onto the upper from the CT side. That's Kyler down. That's a man advantage. And just like that, Anonymous, they lose the opening pick fight with Travis crawling through mid. Long range, does get taken down by Innocent, but very little HP left on Innocent in a problematic fight, and the backup is just not there. Oh,
there,
Deco.
Of course, now peeking. Oh, that was close. He's obviously going to be aware of that lower tons position. Goes to the jump beacon. He may have actually spotted Minio, and now Glowing might be pushing for that informational play. Okay, applies Deco. Minio finds Glowing. There's potential here for Anonymous.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 3 CTs against 2 Ts. Of course, the B-bomb site's still not easy to take, Theo, but it's definitely still doable. They get aggressive, and it's going to be all on to Minio to try and make that retake happen. They switch sides between the CT and the Ts, going for the full defuse, because both don't think, no, he's just going to tap it, take the fight against Polt, but of course loses it because, well, you know, that's just the way that this series has been going, all things considered. 7-2. And again, no rounds strung together by Anonymous.
Yeah, statistically speaking as well, that B site is the hardest site to retake in competitive CSGO for the time being, especially in terms of, you know, the tier 2 and tier 1 sort of teams. And Polt proved there once again, Polt just shutting it down from the outside window position, which is at times quite a risky place to hold, right? Because you can sort of lose control of that site while he plays it perfectly. And again, that's the T side. They are just flying away with this one. A 7-2 lead in terms of rounds, a 5-round deficit, and Anonymous, it's playing out similarly the way in which Nuke played out, right? I mean, they're struggling, to say the absolute least. Really finding it hard to not only cement a sort of foothold into this series, you know, even to pick up as much as a round seems like too much of an ask.
Well, they at least have another buy in their favor. Snacks with the AWP again, though gets flashed off, falls back immediately, long range. Luckily, there is Kate to bail out Snacks before it goes incredibly wrong. FAMAS, not a favorable fight against an AK on those headshot angles, though both tag each other slightly up. No kills in trade, but the man advantage is in favor of the CT side, and they are even grouping up to hit that A long position with a nice flash. Deco might be flashed off, but they need to have B on point. But actually, he's going to get smoked off. That means the Molly's going to force Travis back to the side, peeks back in, but that's the overwhelming advantage. And Anonymous, this is something that they just haven't done whatsoever on both maps. They have not thrown out CT aggression whatsoever. They've had one player, I think, push top mid and got dealt with, but that was on Deagles. So finally, they play together and they find map control back. And that's what you love to see for the CT side, that they're working together as a team.
Precisely that, with a man advantage, a 2-man advantage now if you're side about holding, but Deco takes matters into his own hands. He finds Minio. 4/3 on the cards now, with Polt taking a little bit of damage. This does become slightly doable if they can clear this angle, where Snacks holding from Goose, and we know how much of an unbreakable force Snacks can be.
Can he lock it down, though? Up against Deco, misses the shot, repositions himself. He needs to be careful for the peak, and there's Deco winning that fight. Well, we saw the statistic previously. He's been on top of his game. K does drop the bomb. Will be planted a little bit later, but it's a 3-on-2 retake. We saw it on the B bomb side go horribly, horribly wrong for Anonymous. See, on the A side, it's a lot easier, you would expect, but we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be the case right now. K out from A long. That's going to be the key factor. Kyla drops Polt. They know exactly what Deco is as well. They spot him through. The op shot does not connect, and K gets himself his 3rd in the round. That's Anonymous securing finally another round in their favor. And considering this is still Dust 2, which is a fairly T-sided affair normally, I still do have hope for Anonymous if they can at least make it 5-6 rounds.
I'd agree. I think, you know, if they can make it 5 or 6, they definitely have potential heading into that second half. And that was a nice retake. I mean, the teamwork and the synergy was, of course, there. Finally, they're starting to step it up a little bit. But one win, I mean, they've been looking ridiculously good so far. And you know, they're 1 round away from guaranteeing themselves a lead heading into that second half, the same way they did on Nuke. And a missed smoke on the cross. This could become awkward, but the orb doesn't take the shot. And in doing so, T-side, just the kind of awkward pistol wide for them, glowing, taking a peek. Okay, damage dealt. Nade coming forward, but he will cross back just about staying alive.
Well, luckily there's a molly to keep the remaining T's at bay. They've got 1 flash. But that nade, though, that's the money shot. So much damage. Another nade coming through. Boom goes the dynamite. Deco taken care of. But Glowing did find Innocent in the meantime through mid. And that's going to be, well, an M4 to be recovered. The problem is it's kind of in a position that you can't realistically pick it up safely, because Snacks has his AWP trained at that angle. Kyla long range gets rid of Polt, but still danger. I mean, you are up against Deagles. 1 straight bullet could be enough to take you down. Needs to be careful against that fight against Travis, but he finds 3, and it's all on a solo pro play through towards mid. Creeping in. Okay, 2 shots, 2 kills. Neo, that's nutty.
We got close. Yeah, God. Oh, very close. I think a little bit too close for comfort, we'd say. But, I mean, either way, this replay once again. I mean, they've been doing a good job. The CT side, once they pick up that double upset of Kyler as a secondary AWP, been doing a fantastic job in his own right. And of course, Snacks is Snacks, right? But Pro Play just became very close. I mean, that was a ridiculous double there, but fortunately, very, very fortunately, Snacks was there to cover up. It was short though. Many finds the opening glowing on the trade, but K finds a trade of his own. Manivars is gained by Anonymous, and already a fantastic start for the Polish side. Well on the way to putting 5 on the board and really making this an even half.
Again, Neo, they went aggressive. They went together, threw to a short, one mid, close angles so it could back them up if things go wrong to get the refrag. And that is something that didn't happen on Nuke whatsoever. And honestly, the first couple of rounds on Dust 2, they didn't have it either. It's just, it looks like they finally started to work as a team, and it pays off because Snacks, he's starting to hit some shots as well. All of a sudden, Anonymous, you know, the morning jitters are gone. The energy or coffee is starting to wake them up, and they're finally ready to play some competitive CSGO. This is playoffs. They need to be on their A game. And finally, we get to see some of that Anonymous action that we were waiting to see.
Maybe they've finally woken up in the server, because they do seem to be chaining some nice amount of kills coming forward. Snacks going for the aggressive peek in towards our spawn position. Won't quite spot anything out for the time being, but does spot glowing top mid. Falls back. Snacks nearly punishes, but takes a tag in the making, down to 94.
Always dangerous to take the duel against Deagles with an AWP, but he does find himself glowing, so at least the man advantage picked up for the CT side. They already got themselves 5 rounds. 6 would be wonderful. 7 would be absolutely insane, because this is still a fairly T-sided map, and you want to get as much of an advantage in your favor as possible to try and take us towards Mirage. Nice tag coming through, but Innocent backing up his teammate. Snacks and Innocent locking down the mid double doors position. And Bolt, Deagle in hand, can't find anything. Clean sweep for the Anonymous side. That's 6 rounds. That's something I definitely would not have expected. What was it? 6-1 in favor of 1 win at one point?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, at one point, 1 win were well and truly ahead and, you know, in complete control of this map. But finally, Anonymous starting to step it up, starting to really bring the pain. We mentioned as well, you know, if Anonymous could pick up 5-6 rounds on the CT side, heading into their T side, things may look a little bit more positive for them. Well, they've done exactly that. They are, of course, on that 6-round mark, 1 away from tying things up 7-7. The way they've been playing, I can see them doing it.
Trying to go for a little bit of a boost play, though down to 10 HP, needs to fall back before that ends terribly. So the opening fight has been favorable for 1 win with the damage dealt. Of course, it's on an opera, so he just needs to connect 1 bullet before you connect 1. Though they are playing a bit of a default on the 1 win side. Full A-long control game by the Anonymous side. And they've even got 1 station in pit. That's been K, who has had a terrible performance on Nuke, but all of a sudden on Dust 2, starting to wake up as well. Definitely one of the star players on the rifle that you're looking for to have a solid performance right now. Just the T is baiting out a decent amount of utility. K gets dealt with by Pro Play. The op from Snacks needs to be careful because there's 2 T's peeking into him. Gets 1. Pro Play doesn't go for the full committal peek, and that saves Snacks' life for the time being, but there's the push towards the A site, and it's Minio finding 2, making it doable for his teammates, especially with Innocent chiming in. It's all on to Deco. 1v2, can he take that fight? Innocent does not expect Deco that far on site, and a 1-on-1 op versus AK. Deco does spot out Kyler towards short. His teammates definitely gave him the info that he is towards short. It's going to go for that peek, and it's a dangerous fight to take for Kyler to go for, because Deco is on form as well. Nate flies in down to 31 HP. But does he go for the op duel or does he go for the pistol? It is going to be the op versus AK, and Deco, he just has to play the waiting game. Mano a mano, this is to pretty much decide who's going to win the half in their favor. Crossing further forward, the peek comes in, and it's Deco winning the engagement. 3 kills for the T-Opper, and he even picks up that big green stick, or in this case, orange stick, in his favor. That's 1 win securing the half win. But Anonymous, 6 rounds, make it 7, and you are A-OK.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? Even at 8-6, I think that's still enough, let's say, for Anonymous, right? Because of course they're on that CD side, which at times can be significantly harder. But credit where credit is due, one win. They, from a real rough patch, they've turned it around. They put an 8 on the board, guaranteed themselves at least a lead heading into that second half. So there's real kind of silver linings coming out. A missed smoke as well. Oh no, that's a cross smoke there. Coming forwards, being through though, glowing. Initial bit of damage on towards Midio. Now dropped to 46 points of health. He needs to be extremely careful. But it's Snacks to find the opener. Traded quickly by a prop player, but in a 4v4 situation, both teams have taken a bit of damage.
Both oppers have been dealt with. Luckily enough, of course, the CT side have Kyler as a secondary opper. So, K towards short. Waiting for a pop flash from his teammate to rush through towards short. Might be able to catch him from behind, but Travis, he knows what's up. He heard the flash, and he expects the push to come through video. Playing an off angle, finds himself 2 kills, making it a 2-on-2. They still haven't gotten control of the site just yet, but there's one A long and one from site. So Polt's going to go for the plant. And Pro Play is going to try and back him up. Grouping up both CTs heading up toward... Well, actually, one short, one A long. Instead, they're going to go for 2 separate 1v1 engagements. Who's going to be able to win out the fight? Kylo with the AWP against Pro Play. Spots him crossing through, and it's going to be all on Pulse. 1v2. Can he hold on to the side? Has a smoke to give him that covered vision. Does spot a player towards short. Creeping in. The headshot comes through. Both tagged up heavily, but of course, he's going to peek up against Kylo because, well, wounded. You want to take the fight against the opper, not the rifler. And that's going to be where the danger comes through, but it's the op that actually reigns supreme. Kyler gets 2 kills in the round. The defuse comes in. Innocent does have a kit, luckily enough, and that's going to be the round in favor of Anonymous. 7 rounds on the CT side of Dust 2 after that 6-1 deficit. Neo, this is looking great for Anonymous. If they win that pistol, they are in control.
8-7 half. I mean, I think that's actually quite a fair sort of scoreline. In the way these two teams have been played, it's been such a round for round, affair. Real sort of moments of, let's say, confidence coming forward. Of course, momentum's been huge as well. We of course saw at one point it was a one-sided affair, to say the least, at one point. But resurgences came forward at 8-7 as well. We could maybe see something coming out from Ronaldo heading onto this T side, right? They've picked up what we asked for them. You said 5 or 6 rounds on your CT side. When you head into your T side, then that's when you can start, showing that flair that we know they can do. And well, I think so far it's already a much better performance than Nuke. So, there's a positive there. And 8-7, I think they can really, start something here, especially when this pistol round gets underway. If I want to tie things up 8-8 straight away, then we have a game in our hands.
Of course, if you do like placing a bet, do not forget to head over towards tb.gg/Oz and use VIP code SPRING221 to get a deposit bonus upon sign up. Because this game, I mean, you can probably place a nice couple of bets. As you can see, Deco just looking at his cam for a second there, stretching, quickly getting those muscles nice and limber, because he's going to need them on the T side opping. CT side opping. It's not going to be easy once Snacks picks up in his own AWP. If he's, I mean, Dust 2, T side, you're definitely going to pick up the op this time around, though. It's not like it's Nuke. It's a lot more free form for a T side op.
Yeah, I like that. I like a free form of, we have the sort of, simple sort of pioneered that free form of, just playing wherever and wherever. But now, of course, heading into round number 16, the pistol round, about to get on the way. And I'm not trail by 1 round, but a good pistol round here could tie things up 8-8, and then this game becomes even spicier.
A long range. There's a kit, luckily enough, on Pro Play, so that makes me happy. For the rest, they're just going to be holding a passive angle and go for the retake on the 1-win side. They do have cross smokes on Anonymous, 2 smokes, 1 flash, so they can get themselves on towards that A side. They even have a P250 on both Kyler and Snacks for those long range tap fights against Deco. But he's been on form this entire series, so it's not an easy fight to take. Both oppers trying to find that easy headshot potential on their opponents, but it's all terrorists out towards A long, and 1-win glowing is in lower tunnel, so he has information that no one is going to be there. He's even going to go for the peak, and once he has that info, he can rotate through with his entire team to relay the information that they're going to be going for that A-bomb side hit. They're so close. If Deco peaks wide, this might be disastrous for him. There is Travis on the cross as well towards Elevator. Smokes come in, the flash comes through. He finds one though.
That's brilliant. I mean, they used the flash to find that opening frag. Now they've got the man advantage. Just keep it.
Gonna go for a little bit of a boost play. Minio doesn't expect it. No one's holding the position either, and that's another kill. Oh my god, they're decimating Unanimo's side. Easy pickings. It's all 50-50 in hand. At least finds one kill, but honestly, that's way too little right now because 1win, they secure the pistol in their favor, Neo.
Yeah, really nice done. Of course, with the opening kill, they used that and they utilized it essentially into, I mean, giving them a significantly favorable odds. And then, of course, crossing on towards that site, not clearing that pretty standard boost where someone can peek in towards that Kukli angle. Well, they pay the price, bomb drops, and from there on then, they just start to fall one by one like dominoes. Of course, 1win putting a 9th on the board, taking that pistol on that CT side, and not even managing to get the bomb down means that, well, that economy looking worse for wear here. Just the Glocks coming out into round number 17, and I think it's asking a little bit too much.
It's just a full Glock train for Anonymous, just mainly using this as a bit of an eco. And a timeout, discuss what their plan of attack is going to be in the next round. Of course, they will be able to afford AK's decent utility as well. The fact that they are the T side. If they get the bomb planted, this round would be absolutely marvelous. Somehow, Glowing goes for a full whiff spray, but luckily there's Polt and Pro Play chiming in to get the kills in return. And easy finish of the round secured. 1win on double digits, 10-7, but Anonymous will be picking up those AKs, so weaponry-wise, they should have the advantage on the terrorist side.
Yeah, you know, AKs in hand, especially when you've got players like, I mean, Innocent, you know, he can pop off Snacks, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. But still, double digits have been picked up by 1win. They've got a 3-round sort of buffer in their favour, and they're looking to keep hold of that. They will have the buy to support it as well. I mean, it's just prop play of an MP9, which is the only sort of significantly worse buy, I'd say. Let's go coming in towards that tunnel's position. Kyler sitting passively, waiting. We're Glowing going to rotate into support.
Well, mid left open for the time being. Travis is rotating through to defend it, but Anonymous, kind of the same idea that they had on Nuke, where they just most of the time play passive, wait for 1win to make mistakes, get aggressive. They do have a little bit of aggression, of course, out towards A long. It's Pro Play on the other side of the long doors, waiting for someone to peek in through, which, granted, can get you a nice kill, but it is also a potential for getting completely sprayed down with wallbang potential on the terrorist side if they know that you are positioned in that angle. To be fair, not a lot of people do run that position because of course, the fear and the possibility that your opponent might just be able to easily deal with you regardless. Anonymous crawling further forward towards A short, and it looks like a potential for a mid to B split right now because they do have still one player, Kyler, towards B. They are tossing their utility through mid. There's going to be the mid to B split, something that 1win barely went for so far. And this boost from Deco could be perfect. They spot over the smoke. He finds one, fades away as well. And Travis creeping past the smoke. He drops Snacks. That's the bomb dropped in mid. And they're getting dealt with. Travis long range taps as well. Finds 3 kills. No one holding the smoke against Tyler. That's last but not least. He's going to get finished off, and that's 1win. I mean, that was a solid mid defense. The boost quickly to get the opening pick, and then Travis creeping past the smoke. The last kill as well, just tapping away at K. And just
solid.
So gut-wrenching.
Slightly rookie-esque though, you know, of course it's a standard boost coming in towards that spawn, you know, it can of course see above that smoke, hence why, you know, sometimes people go for that double smoke with a slightly elevated one to stop things like that happening. And Anonymous, they just caught out in towards that window position as well, no trade coming forward as the player pushed out a CT. They pay the price. Kyler takes a lot of damage, but the smoke will extinguish it. It's Minio to find the opener, however, but down goes Kyler. The trade coming forward, and a 4 versus 4 ensues.
On range, needle in hand, tap fight. Travis tagged down low. Travis taken down by Snacks with the P250. But at the moment on the B-bomb side, it's all on to Glowing. However, Glowing doesn't need no support. He's got himself the AK in hand up against Innocent. Once that smoke dissipates, a 1v1 fight comes through. But this is all a dangerous game. Can he find that quick tag to the face? Yes, Innocent gets the kill. That's an AK recovered as well. Bomb site control can go for the plant. Though he's being pushed on the flank before he knows it. No safe plants coming forward. It is going to be Pro Play securing the round in their favor. And 1 win, 5 rounds ahead, 4 rounds from securing this series 2-0. But, this is disastrous for Anonymous. Snacks will at least be able to afford an AWP, so that is going to make me personally happy to see that battle between the Oppers again.
We love seeing Snacks, though. I mean, the man, the myth. And of course, I mean, on the other side, Deco's been doing a fantastic job on Nuke. He was a sight to be, held. I mean, time and time again, going aggressive when it was needed most and really isolating fights with the AWP. A stellar job, he was playing over towards ramp, then with the harsh rotation over towards secret, cutting off those, rotations and those executes towards that secret and outside position. Now heading into Dust 2, it's more of the same. Currently sitting 16 and 7. I mean, he's been looking brilliant. Individually as well, leading the way in terms of frags in the server alongside Minio. I mean, he's been doing a fantastic job and so far been one of the players to keep an eye on.
All this time around, quick outside play from K. Does have Snacks crawling in behind him as well, and they might go for a quick A bomb side hit with the A long and A short. Torch coming through. Deco, 2-man hold towards short. Gets mollied off though, forces him back. That means at the moment Pro Play is the only one there, but that nade gives away that he is at least positioned fairly close. The flash comes in, gets dodged, and Kyler stays back. They do have pretty decent CT A short control, but that means A long right now is not being controlled whatsoever. Kyler found out by Pro Play, and that's the man advantage for the CT side. Again, time and time again, they do find that opening pick on the 1-win side. And you're still close to try and take that fight, but Travis pushing through mid, finding the information. Minio does spot Purpley getting aggressive. They know Glowing is stuck towards elevator as well. They don't have cross smokes available. They've got one. They use the molly to obstruct some vision, and it does get them across. Dangerous situation to be in, but there's Travis on site, and Travis is a monster, a tank, and he finds 2 kills. It's all on to Snacks, the clutch master, but he cannot get this clutch on the way. 13-7, and they're only 3 rounds away from securing the next spot. Well, the next step in the playoffs and knocking out Anonymo in a decisive 2-0 fashion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, 1 win coming into this, we spoke, quite heavily about individually. They've been brilliant. I mean, their run of form recently has been humongous. They've been taking real big strides. And of course, see there, they've converted a first goal into a round 11 out of 12 times. It's such an important factor. Peeking towards top mid. Oh, it's aggressive. Nearly finds a tank there for Anonymo. Coming into round number 21. It's just an AK to support those pistols. That hero buyer is Glowing to find the open. Already 1 win. That they convert an opening kill into a round 11 out of 12 times, and is following suit here.
Creeping up towards the bomb site. Glowing gets slightly tagged up, but Bolt still finds the kill nonetheless. Innocent at the edge of the smoke will get taken care of by Glowing, who is rotating through, already has 2 kills to his name. Can he find more? It's the remaining 2 terrorists pushing towards the site. The cross is there. Information relayed to Glowing. Close range. No scope. Tries to take the fight against Snacks, but of course Minio is still alive and kicking. Now it's going to be against Snacks in a 1v3 clutch scenario. How many has he had to attempt in this series so far? So he's even being flanked from tunnels. And 1 win. They are just on fire right now. And I mean, honestly, with the performance right now, well deserved if they go on towards the next stage of the. In general, this tournament, they've been looking so good.
Exactly. I mean, their run of form recently has been huge. We spoke about this already, but especially in this tournament, right? I mean, they've been looking very, very good. They, in the regions, had a bit of a mixed affair coming forward, a few decent victories. But when it came to that Swiss, they picked up a 3-1 overall. They only lost to Copenhagen Flames, who, as you said, that new roster is looking incredible from Copenhagen Flames. So in that sense, I mean, they've been looking fantastic. Pushing in towards short, however, the CT side nearly catching out an aggressive T, going for the peek in towards top short, won't for the time being. Innocent now waiting and holding, and maybe able to get himself a frag, jumping in towards Pit, Glowing, he's going to punish all day long, and nearly doubles up.
Well, does need a little bit of support now. The Molly can force him out of position, but spots K trying to toss in the Molly. And he gets the kill secured on his elbow, blows it to smithereens with that nice 50 cal bullet. It's going to be long range Glowing trying to cross back, but there's a player in pit that's dangerous. Molly forced him out of position. Blinded, gets back. Okay, no HP on Glowing, and he still manages to disengage. That's really something that should never be allowed to happen.
Exactly. I mean, how has he been able to stay alive there? I mean, of course the flashbang came through, but for him to fall back on such low HP, now this becomes all concerning. Tags coming through as well, and Minio and Kyle are now in a real tough spot. Glowing waiting an opportunity. He's going to be gifted another frag. That's 3 on the board for him. He's technically on for the AC, and the way he's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes on towards him. He's been hitting everything, plus Minio to finally trade him out of that position. Deco finds one prop player on the last. Ladies and gentlemen, and DK Truman. That's 1 win, putting 15 on the board, and they're 1 away from taking this series 2-0. And it has to be said, deservedly taking it 2-0. They have been unstoppable so far.
I mean, honestly, Glowing is absolutely a golden sub. Every single time I see him sub for the 1 win side, he is doing absolutely exceptional work. That's what you want to see from your substitute, not, you know, no disrespect, but getting your coach in there most of the times. People that barely even play the game anymore, not too favorable. As you can see, the odds on Pinnacle are also not too favorable here, because it seems like it's all done and dusted. Barely anything to win if you go for a full all-in bet onto 1 win, and you never are 100% sure that that might be the case. But to be fair, this series is over, and it's of course painful to see the Polish team get knocked out, because I'm a big Anonymous fan. But 1 win, they're looking like a completely different beast this morning.
Completely, as you mentioned. I mean, they are just on fire at the moment. Oh, Deco, he's gone aggressive into his tunnels, waiting, finding. He drops into an opening kill, going the way of 1 win. He may be able to double up here. Flashbang walk on forward. He manages to get his way out of the way, and he will be traded by Minio. HG coming forward. This could cause a lot of damage, and it will. Kyler's left on 15 points of health. But it's Minio to find the shot towards Proper, and a man advantage now gained for Anonymous. This could be potential for a lifeline here.
Glowing. That other op, creeping up, crawling closer. It's going to be the fight from Polt against Minio, but he misses the shots. Actually, it's Kyler getting the kill. In the meantime, there's a creep up from behind that might be a bit of a surprise coming through. Nonetheless, the bomb is headed out towards A-Long, and they're just using this B bomb site take as a pretty big bait. The flank comes in, the kill picked up by Glowing. If he finds Minio here nice and cleanly, it could be a 2-on-2, but on the other side, the bomb is going to get planted. And it is actually a 2-on-2, so all of a sudden, this is very doable for the side of 1 win to secure their victory in a 16-7 fashion. Glowing with the AWP towards short. Does he expect K that close? Seems he knows something's up, because K is playing close angles. They line up. Glowing. 2 HP left. The Molly is going to make it so that it's near impossible to run forward unless he actually just suicides.
You hate to see it. You do hate to see it. Sprinting through him on the top. Yeah, you do hate to see it. But at the same time, a lifeline has been gained. That's the first round that Anonymous picked up on this T side. It only took 7 for them to finally, in the 8th, put a round on the board, and that will mean that they have got 8 rounds overall, but still a stark deficit to catch up on. And 1 win, of course, they will be able to pick up a very comfortable bike on into this. Deco spotting, but not going to find anything. An uncharacteristic miss from the man.
Well, they are playing with that double up every single time. Deco and Glowing on the big green sticks. Anonymous grouping back through towards mid. Deco trying to spot out those long range engagements. Of course, Anonymous don't have AWPs of their own, so that's the advantage that they've got right now. On the CT side, if you're going to take those fights, you can go for the mid peaks. But Anonymous, they need to win 7 consecutive rounds right now, Neo, to try and get themselves towards OT. And then give themselves a chance to take it to the 3rd map. So there's like a long road to recovery to go through.
A long road indeed. I mean, surely this is asking a little bit too much. I mean, so far. And I know they struggle to put just that one round on the board, and Deco finds one. He's get me traded. He doubles off with Decay. Oh, it's falling apart. And Deco is a one-man army. The man, the myth. This is Deco's world, and we're just living in it. I've sung his praises time and time again, and he is just being a force to be reckoned with. That's one win, putting a 16-8 victory in map number 2, a 16-4 victory in map number 1, and one win to make the next step in the playoffs. A deserved 2-0 series from them. They were nigh on unstoppable at times today, Truman. And I have to say, one win. And now a side to be feared. They are looking fantastic. The recent run of form has translated into very, very solid performances coming into the playoff series. And against a side like Anonymous, who are arguably one of the hottest sides in Europe, especially in that Polish scene. Credit where credit's due. One win. They put the fight on towards Anonymous, proved that they deserve to be in this playoff position. And well, they're now definitely a side that we're going to have to look up to when we're heading into this playoffs.
Deco in total, 45-17 was his scoreline. 45-17 over 2 maps. That is absolutely insane. Of course, sad to see Anonymous get knocked out. But I'm pretty happy to see one win continuing on. Their next opponents will be Furia, which, the next opponents in general, Skade, Entropic, Complexity, and Furia, the teams that have been invited to the playoffs. So that's going to be a doozy to watch. One win versus Furia, of course, the Brazilian team that has a lot of flair in the scene, especially their Opera as well. Sure. So you're going to get that duel going on between those two teams. That is definitely something that I'm looking forward to. But the next series on the menu will be Endpoint versus AGO. And when we're talking early morning, Endpoint are very happy that they didn't have to do the 9 a.m. shift.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, 9 a.m. CST, it's 8 a.m. for us, right? That's when I was up already and casting. A little bit of an early one. I think as a caster, we can sort of get away with it. As a player, though, slow to kind of get those gears going. And I think maybe that's what might have plagued the Anonymous side today, of course, and they were an hour behind their one-win opponents, and maybe, just unable to kind of get their wake up. But, congratulations to one win. Take a lovely victory, and it's commiserations, I guess, to Anonymous. Just not their day today.
Of course, that concludes our show right here. Hopefully everyone at home enjoyed it. We'll be having 3 more best of 3s today. Endpoint versus AGO, then Copenhagen Flames versus Sharks, and at the end of the day, Fiend versus Extremum, which honestly is the highlight of the day. That matchup right there, of course, Bentet, Polish Pride. The last one remaining, actually they still have AGO in the tournament, but regardless, hopefully everyone enjoyed the show. And in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Are you ready to experience the next step in esports entertainment? Don't just watch the game. Become a part of it. Make predictions, compete against others, win prizes. Stream cards. Sign up for the closed beta now.
1 down and 3 to go here for the Spring Sweet Spring round of 12. Of course, our playoff stage. Fi, I'm very excited to get things underway with you. We do have a banger of a matchup. Ego versus Endpoint, two teams that we've seen play against each other twice now. Here on HLTV appearances. Ego beating them out twice, but Endpoint mentioned on Twitter this is their time to show up and their time to provide. Really excited to get into things. A best of 3 to determine who's going to the top 8 to play Skade. Again, I think I could see either team winning this one. We'll sort of jump into that, but the whole thing, preface it by saying this is most probably going to go to a 3-mapper.
This is going to be a definite banger of a series. And you can see the side of the bracket that Endpoint and AGO find themselves on. Winner of this will be facing off versus Skade. And when you look at these two teams, this side of the bracket is where either of these two teams can do some damage, maybe even make it to the semifinals. I mean, maybe some could consider Skade the easiest opponent of the invited teams. So, I mean, opportunity for these two teams, whether they win, that is the question, of course. Who will is the question that will be posed throughout this game. And it will be a close one here. Endpoint, AGO, two very evenly matched teams. I mean, Endpoint coming through and sort of, they find themselves at sort of a similar level throughout their time as this team. But this is the time to break out and really make a run for it in this tournament.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this before, right? Mezzy, the introduction, really, really solid player. No doubt about that one. He's been putting up the figures for a little while now for Endpoint. Yet to see him in an ESL Premiership, yet to see him really in any other format other than these Spring Sweet Springs and the Elisa Invitational. I'm excited, though. I really am excited to see the future for this team. As you mentioned, I think we've seen them at a fairly similar level with the departure of Flamesy, moving in with Thomas, and then, of course, Mezzy being picked up. I think that this is really, really important times. Robin, of course, departing from his place. I think that this team has promise, right? The loss of Flamesy was a big one. I think it hit home very deeply for Endpoint because of the skill level, him going over to OG. However, on the flip side, you've got to think about this, right? Mezzy really showing his forefront, his skill. On the flip side as well, I think we have a very underrated side of Ego. Finally, they get the spotlight they deserve. We've seen some really, really good Counter-Strike come from this 5, and I don't think any of us expected it, right? I could have had a talk not even a month ago, and you say, Ego are going to do well, I would have been like, maybe main Swiss, no further than that. And here we are, fairly dominant performance in the main Swiss, all the way through to playoffs, and here we are, one game away from making top 8.
Exactly. That would be a huge compliment for this 5 or maybe 6, because of course they will be rocking 6-man rosters. I mean, that's sort of their branding here as a 6-man lineup. Depending on the maps, of course, they do swap in Reets at times, but this 5-man core has been looking good in the past few weeks. Recently, they did end their ESEA Premier run in 2nd place, so I mean that's also a big tournament for them. Unfortunately, they couldn't succeed in that regard, but this is a chance for them to sort of atone for that here in Spring Sweet Spring number 3. And this one, I mean, they got plenty of lineups, 2 highlight players, Fiku and Snatchy, really to bring it home.
Yeah, let's jump into the Veto and talk things through there. I think this is going to be really interesting, right? Because we could see some punish picks, or we could see some just flat out one-way maps. Your likes of, Overpass per se banned by Ego, Nuke banned by Endpoint. We go for the Mirage first pick, Vertigo second. I think we can talk about that a little bit in just a moment here. Inferno and Dust 2 being banned out. So Ancient our decider if we need to get to it. Very excited about that. My first point was going to be, okay, Mirage, decent for both sides. Vertigo, decent for both sides. Ancient, decent for both sides. we're in a matchup, right, where each map actually could go either way, right? Ego picking Mirage, yes, they have the better win rate, but Endpoint, actually, I do believe are like 2% behind in terms of win percentage here.
Yes.
For the exact same with Vertigo, Endpoint are in front, but it's a negligible difference to that of Ego's win rate. And then Ancient are decider, where again, I think the win rate is slightly bigger, but that's because it's a new map, but we've seen great success from both sides. And so heading into this matchup, heading into this best of 3, I think we are absolutely stumped as to what to predict here, Fi, because we could see Endpoint take Mirage, we could see Ego take Vertigo, and then we could see Ancient just go to like an infinite amount of overtimes.
Exactly.
Lord above, help, no. That would be a pain to go on for so long. But my point still stands in the fact that we've got 3 maps here, potentially could see all 3 brought out. And if not, we could see a 2-0 sweep or the closest best of 3 to date.
That's really the polarizing matchup. This is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like AGO, when picking Mirage, they sent a bit of blood in the water. Recent results for Endpoint have been shaky, to say the least, on Mirage. I mean, it was versus Fiend, there was a quadruple overtime, but then the next time they rematch versus Fiend, it's a 16-3 on Mirage. So, depending on which side of the bed Endpoint woke up on today, might decide this series. Same goes for Vertigo as well. I mean, this is just, it could either be a 32-0 or it can either be, triple overtime every single map. We'll have to see though. And I mean, Endpoint still, I think this is their real tournament. This is their real chance to start making deep runs in these events and really start to climb those rankings. It's been a long time to see. I mean, a team that was competing in the ESL Pro League and made a great run in Tier 1 Counter-Strike. And, well, this is their opportunity to start facing off against some more high-level competition. Welcome to Mirage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really excited to get things underway. Of course, our best of 3, Mirage, Vertigo, and Ancient, if you've just tuned in. But we do kick things off here with the pistol. We've got, there you go, on the T side, Endpoint on the CT. And again, this is just about taking their time and basically using your feelers, get a grip as to what this best of 3 entails. Because again, as we were talking about, Thai, this is, quite honestly, this is too many twists and turns in this game that could be taken. And so, important from the get-go is just to understand what's going on. Very nice think there. Mezzi trying to find a shot on the way down, can't quite connect, and a bit of a boost here. Fiku finds first blood onto Surreal, but a missed boost and a bomb plant out towards A. The mid-contact made. Mezzi, really nice shot onto Rallen. Traded out by Lehman, though. Crucial up towards Spawn, low HP, and yeah, even though he had the jump, he needed to connect with that first shot. Otherwise, Fiku turns and demolishes. That's exactly what happens. Very nice think from Fernan Lehman to take him down, and Thomas caught in the open as well. Endpoint concede the first round. It's Ago up in front.
And perhaps this could give a little bit of order to the series to see which way this one might shake out. Just a very dominant pistol from AGO on their map pick, and that might just bode well for them to start off this half. Of course, there will be the force buy back in here for Endpoint, and, well, they are certainly no strangers to Deagle highlights. You definitely got players like Mezzi, Surreal, Thomas, who could turn things around for Endpoint, but AGO looking to keep their foot down on the gas pedal early as we start off here on Mirage.
Default execute out towards A. They're going to give it a good test and see what happens. Surreal going to try and respond with a HE grenade that could actually do some serious damage. It doesn't. He does take a fair bit in on himself. Crucial up close. Deagle connects on the first, drops down. Really important that this rotation happens, but he needs support from his teammates. Does he? Oh my good God, Crucial. Out of nowhere. A triple with the Deagle and still not cleared out. Still no chance. Bomb drops and Furlan now pushing in towards Palace. This is a ridiculous start to a round. And Crucial not done just yet. Trying to hunt for more heads. Try to find a chance back into this one. Continuing the spam. Try to find the shots. Tagged up. Rallen. Oh, a bit of a tag through the wall as well. Got to be careful as Mighty Max rounds yet another head. Rallen gone and Furlan stands. Oh my good God. Crucial's triple. Mighty Max on 4. And Endpoint might have just tied things up because there's no way Furlan's winning this round.
You would think. I mean, 40 seconds. Yeah, he's off to the hills. He's gone. This one's done. Forced by victory in for Endpoint. And it seems, just as I say, there's a little bit of order brought to this game. Well, Crucial disrupts it, and now we're back straight into chaos. The Force Buy Wars are about to be initiated, Retro. Furlan will hold on to his Galil, but at the end of all this, AGO's money will be in tatters. It'll be $1,500, $1,400 for Lehman, who is on dead $0. So it will be a scrappy next round. And for Endpoint, even then, like, yes, you won this round, but you won't even be able to buy in proper rifles. There might be FAMASs for the rest of the players here, but they will be able to recover a couple here. So
wow,
maybe my point doesn't quite stand too tall. We'll have to see what Endpoint bring into this and AGO bring into this. But this was just fantastic here from Crucial.
Just watch just how clean this is. First kill, understandable, right? That's usually the one and done spot. And I thought, okay, this is where he really needs to back up. Really nice shot onto Fiku. And you know what? Because he hits the 1D there, that's exactly what enables him to find that third kill. If he didn't find the first head, or the second head, excuse me, that would have been round gone. No doubt about it. And heading into round 3, yeah, buy bought right back for Endpoint.
Yeah, they've got to save so many of these rifles that this will be a huge boost to their economy and a huge boon to AGO. They'll be down to Ferlin rather, still on his Galil. So it'll still be difficult scenes here for AGO. They're lucky that Crucial didn't start firing off his AK-47, or AGO might be a bit worse for wear. So all things being considered, it's still a 5 versus 5, and some solid mid control taken so far.
Not bad, not bad. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Again, Mezzy taking some early contact. The HP isn't there for Endpoint as much as it is for AGO, but again, at the same time, we were just discussing how poor the buy is for AGO and how these deals are going to play into a bit of a factor, unless if your name's Crucial, nothing much is going to happen. Thomas? Yeah, that's smart. You know, trying to edge up wide. Crucial, messy spray, but a double's good enough. Mezzy's in for a third, and that's already 4 kills on the board for Endpoint. It's just Snatchy left alone, and that is really, really good counter-strike there from Endpoint. Yet again, swinging off the contact. Crucial knows that he can find those 2 kills towards middle, maybe even a third. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you can keep 4 survivors and pick up that AK in middle, this is a great, great round for you to be finding success in. An Endpoint with 20 seconds to go, just have to hold on for a little bit longer. And in fact, it might be a peek here from Mezzy to find it. Oh, yeah, timing on his side, gifted every opportunity. Oh, does he get the AK? No. Okay, so lost gun here for Endpoint. However, it is still a second round on the board. Nothing to turn your nose up at.
Exactly. It will be a full ego here from AGO. No issue there, but I mean, it's good to see Endpoint had no trouble dismantling that force buy. There was no issue there. I mean, even though AGO did get some advanced control in middle, there was just nothing after that. Just confidently swinging. That's what that's the confidence that Endpoint need to try and take this at least in 2-0 or get themselves to the quarterfinals. We'll have to see. Now it's back out towards the A site. A bit of a palace pop here, trying to get that bomb down desperately, but no one from Endpoint isn't even gonna let them. They won't even get out the door. Not even off the runway for them. So that will be 3. Quick 3. But the buy is back in for the polls. So now this is where we can play some real Counter-Strike.
Yeah, exactly. This is where we're going to see actually a fairly even matchup since the pistol. It's always been one team heavily advantaged in terms of riflery, and although there was an underdog story in round 2, this is where you're up to you and your rifle and nothing else. And interestingly enough, AGO don't opt for a sniper, don't opt for anything. Great movement from Crucial, but a missed shot has cost him his life. A grenade possibly sent over the top. Early disadvantage here. Snatchy, oh my good god, just sending it right on forward. A very silly mistake, I think, to go for that aggression. Mezzy will pick him up through the smoke. And a 4v4, early advantage given up here. Max taking a bit of pressure, has to dip out of harm's way. Still a 4v4 though. Still hot contention here towards middle as, yes, AGO have established that control, but Endpoint looking to tear it right away from them at the same time though. Ferlin, how has he gotten himself into this angle? And does Mighty Max expect this? I don't believe so. But is he going to be checked here on this close spot? I don't think so. AGO, there is a rat amongst them. Oh, Rowland going for the jump peak, breaking the vent, and that's where Ferlin can dip on down. And really smart teamwork there from AGO, but they've got to be careful for Mezzy. Easy angle, boosted, and there you go. Traded right back, 55 seconds, and we settle into a 3v3.
We settle, but Mezzy doesn't want to settle for anything. He'll take down Fiku as well. Now a 2-on-3, but there's still the advanced positioning of Ferlin here. We'll be able to take down Thomas, keeping this in a 2-on-2. This round is bloody, but Mezzy can bring order to it. From the catwalk, knows where one player is, and should expect another one from the apartments here. This is going to get down and dirty here on the B side, but I think Mezzy's been spotted. Has he? Now he reveals his position to Lehman. And now it'll be a 1 versus 2 here for Surreal, but he's just about to get blindsided by Ferlin, and that will be the case. 3-2. And AGO, I mean, it was a very solid round. Endpoint put up some stiff resistance, but at the end of the day, they make it all the way through. That's the first gun run under their belt.
3 in a row though for Endpoint, and so that does enable a bit of a rebuy into this round. Crucial, comfortable enough to invest in that sniper once again. In fact, a second one brought forward to Thomas. We don't really see that all too much from Endpoint, I think. No second AWP investment usually, but apparently so this time. They're going to give it a stab and see what happens. I mean, already now... Oh, hold on.
A little bit of a lineup towards top mid boxes.
Cheeky. I didn't know that lineup existed. Fair enough. Endpoint have taught me something today. Nice lineup there, but again, lineups don't buy you rounds. It's the gun advantage, and well, AGO more than happy to bring that one forward as Snatchy will catch off Mighty Max. And already 5v4 and no real trade here for Endpoint, so settling for the man disadvantage early doors.
Building off of Thomas and Crucial. One will fire off, but again, AGO can always give it back, and that they will. Beacon will swing back, but this time around, Mezzi will be able to secure themselves the man advantage. But all in the meantime, they've snuck up towards the apartments, and there's only Thomas's off here. Crucial will be jumping into the site, and there you go. There's the first frag. Thomas as well on the Lehman. Perfect stuff. Just systematic fragging here from Endpoint. And Rollin will be able to take down Crucial. I'm not going to say he's down and out of this just yet, but he's trapped out towards the van. It's going to be so difficult to fight out from this angle, but he actually escapes. Thomas on 28. This isn't undoable. This isn't out of the realms of possibility. 30 seconds remaining on the clock, though. He has to move quickly to try and set down this bomb. But he can outposition. He has 2 isolated 1v1s, Retro. This is so very doable. Spots out Surreal. Now he'll be able to plant this bomb. With 20 seconds remaining, he's up for the clutch.
Empty corner, prawn, and he finds Surreal as well. No way, Mezzi can't let this one slip. He can't afford to lose. This was a 4v1 situation. And Rallen to the final one. Messi spray. Mezzi keeps his cool. Really close, but no cigar for Rallen. As Mezzi will pick up the AWP and find a defuse. But still so much damage done. Plus the bomb plant on this sort of wacky half buy, I want to say, for AGO. Yes, it was the investment, but you know, it wasn't a full in-depth to the bottom barrel buy. They possibly could go for an investment here to try and reset the CT side. I wouldn't be surprised in seeing it. I think the safer option is just to eco, but they knew off the back of all that damage they could afford to invest, and that's exactly what they opt for. Lehman getting a Galil in his hands, AK on Rallen, and that confirms it. They're willing to go for it. They're going to dig deep into this one, and into the 7th round, they're going to try and find themselves a 3rd.
I completely agree with this investment here from AGO. You can look at what Endpoint have. They have 2 UMPs off the back of only surviving on 1 man. So this is definitely a realistic round here for the Poles. And if they win this, this could turn the game on its head. We could be seeing an even scoreline between these two sides very, very quickly. But that's a big if. Again, they're going to hedge their bets on this B site, and now the execute is going to be raining on in.
Here we go. Thomas up close with the UMP. Oh, big damage done, but the peak from short. Verlin's in for a kill of his own. Crucial trying to trade out with the AWP, but just not having the angle. The bomb set down. Crucial. Oh my good god. Crucial goes so aggressive and so quick with the AWP. Finds the kill onto Verlin. Unresponsive on the trade here for AGO. And now these 2 rifles have to close on in. They have to move forward, smoke utility in, and exactly that. That exact point being, they've got so much utility available for this retake. Snatchy tries the wild spray. He was the high HP of the 3. He needed to keep his life, and he can't. Bomb's still ticking though, and they've got to be careful, but closing on the angles. Lehman, 1v3, spots out, but Surreal got it covered. Easy as could be. Endpoint will find themselves a 5th, and the bomb plant is going to be good for the AGO economy, but the force buy unsuccessful, and I think it's to the pistols with them in round 8.
The utility on that execute for Endpoint was just a godsend there. It allows them to get through those very tight choke points in the market position. If they don't have that, it'll be easy days. It'll be so easy to establish those crossfires if you are the Poles. And now Endpoint find themselves at 5 on a full buy versus an eco. They can begin to run away with Mirage. That was the full investment from AGO. That was their attempt to try and break Endpoint's money. But the post plant was not successful, so we find ourselves in this situation. Half my territory. Seems like it's just a standard A-side execute. Gonna be on the cards here for the Poles. Trying to bring something out of this one. And I mean, a couple of nice 1-digs can definitely turn around on its head, but Endpoint aren't gonna let them do that so quickly.
Well, let's get out towards A. Mezzi really cheeky spam there. The lineup is the smoke plumes, and that forces Furlan to take a bit of an unnecessary gunfight. Mezzy is going to take some damage. Hold on a second. Up close with a deagle. Crucial has to back away. Mezzy in for the first, though, will catch the stairs player. Another one up close, and it's all through smokes. Crucial and Surreal now in for a couple of kills of their own. Surreal will find one more. Crucial demolished by the deagle of Fiku, but I think, yeah, this is definitely a round in Endpoint's favour. Just about the damage and only the initial... Oh, hold on. Endpoint getting a bit too friendly, stabbing each other with a knife, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the success of the round. AGO, another bomb plant, forces a very good buy into round 9, but a 6th on the board here for Endpoint. And bearing in mind this is AGO's map pick, I don't want to put too much pressure on them early doors, but they really need to start picking up rounds if they want to convert in the first map, which is their pick.
Yeah, and this is some good showing so far here from Endpoint, just easily dismantling pistols, not letting them take the space that they so desire, not letting them pushing forward stairs. They're gonna spam every smoke at every moment in the round, and they'll keep them down. Still a full buy-in from AGO though. They did get that bomb plant, so they will get a very healthy buy. And with that healthy buy, anything can do here. Now we get to play some Counter-Strike, but Mighty Max just fully wallbangs Lehman through the apartments. Oh, that is a painful way to lose your opener. And now Rollin trying to scrap something back, but he's not going to find much either. That's a 4-on-5.
Well, here we go. Mollying towards short. Okay, AGO. You mentioned that early disadvantage could plague them in this round, and so far, I mean, it isn't all bad. We've still got a little bit of utility to work with, but my main concern is we've got no smokes. It's basically a dry peak no matter what on every angle, and this aggressive stance towards Ram. Surreal, yes, he might get caught out, but do they expect Crucial here? Bomb will go down. They do expect something. Snatching him for another Crucial. Gone! Snatching him for another. Mezzy 1v4, good for one, but Fiku to shut him down. Really impressive stuff from AGO. I thought for a second then, maybe, just maybe, Endpoint can claw it back, but kill after kill, AGO demolished the CT side. And I mean, you can see how disruptive these rounds have been for the Endpoint economy. I mean, we've got an investment here, but back pocket buy really isn't going to be good heading into the next. So fortunate to squeeze out a decent buy here, but it has to come from this round if they want to keep such a strong lead.
Still a buy-in from Endpoint, though. Still a buy. That's the saving grace for them, or else AGO can easily be back into this game. Still everything they need on this T side. A Crucial up close with the op. Could just find himself another opener, but a fiery shot there from Fiku. Fantastic work on this entry. He can even keep that op in his hands. He can even do some gun disposal if he wants to. Now into the site, AGO will go. And I mean, what's the question here for Endpoint? Someone is going to have to go huge.
Well, here we go. Mezzy had to step up there, can't find a thing. 5v3, Deagle and Mighty Max as well, going to be a bit of a disruption. But hold on, there you go, Mighty Max in for the first. Oh my good god, Mighty Max! He's just got even mightier. AWP picked up, it in a second earlier, would have found the bomb plant, but it's a 3v3, brought right back by the Deagle Master. And he is going to be checking his angles, make sure things are good for this retake. Into the 3v3, grenade goes deep. Fiku taking a bit of damage, but it's actually Furlan that eats the majority of it. And he's got a volley, got to be careful for behind though, Mighty Max. Got to check his corners, and while Fiku and Rallon find a killer piece, it's all down to Thomas here in a 1v3. And yeah, I mean, in a 3v3, possible, not anticipating the flank plus the engagement onto Surreal. This round done, dusted, gone. It will be AGO's fourth, but a glimpse of excellence there from Mighty Max in the previous. Thomas, is he going to be checked? Yes, he is, but low HP on the last three, and they don't want to test him whatsoever. It is going to be another kill on the exit. Endpoint concede a fourth, but at the cost of 3. Really impressive counter. strike from both sides so far.
Yeah, and I mean, Mighty Max does his damnedest to try and
Question is, does Crucial save or does Crucial want to go for this? In a 1v2,
Ooh,
not impossible, but yeah, I think you're better to count your losses. I don't think you can invest in an AWP in the next end, so they'll just be like, you know what, yeah, just keep it, let's jump into future rounds and see what happens.
yeah, that would have been cool because Crucial tried for the clutch. I would have been brought back into this one. It would have made me a bit interested, but yeah, he'll just go for the save, which is probably the more calculated risk. No armor, no kit, of course. And I mean, you have an AWP in your hands. You're the primary offer. You kind of have the golden ticket into the next round, and he'll be able to use that for the next one. But for now, AGO have battled back. I believe that's 3 in a row now. They're able to make things work. They're making this game even. We're getting competitive here on Mirage. It felt like Endpoint could have started to run away with it, but now we find ourselves almost at level pegging, and this is the one to do it. And, well, you get some nice player cams here for playoffs. And
Yeah,
you
man.
can see all the Endpoint players. Yeah. But anyways, full buy-in here for Endpoint. So try and stem the bleeding just a little bit and get themselves a very nice half under their belt.
No, absolutely. And you can see now, Endpoint look a lot like, I would say, from the previous times I think I've seen player counts from. Oh my good god, Mezzy. They look very focused in this game. I can't lie. Like, you could see how, Max was sort of orchestrating the play, using this time wisely. Let's talk about why we're winning, why we're losing. And then everyone else just zoned in on their own performance. And so far, this has been a great start for Endpoint. Again, being AGO's map pick, you'd expect them to come out on top and in front. However, Endpoint really have put up a fight. We'll have to wait and see as things go, though. If they can make changes, if they can find themselves in front, AGO, and get themselves to a level we thought they should have been at heading into this first map pick of Mirage. And so far, we've got this ladder room control established, the short plays there. We've got players in apartments, lots of noise made. Furlan finding Messi, a really important first kill, but a nice trade from Mighty Max onto Furlan. But Thomas has to take his focus towards apartments. A kill required, 2 would be nice, but he can't find a thing. All on Max now, he does find the first, can't trade out, is rallying him for another. And Crucial, 1v3, bomb plant, denied, but no, in fact, it's kept alive. He does find the first kill, but at the cost of the plant, and walks right into the guillotine of Snatchy. All tied up at 6 apiece. Endpoint conceding a very important round.
Yeah, as soon as they lose the player in the connector, mid just becomes wide open. The split is readily available, and Endpoint just simply can't. The defenses are just too oversaturated. Max does his damnedest to try and hold things together, but the rest of the Endpoint can't really shore up the line. And I mean, a clutch attempt in from Crucial, but it's really just losing the AWP. And at the end of the day, it's going to be another one of these half-5 rounds, and this one should likely be a 7th here, all things being considered, all the percentages and statistics, but Mighty Max wants to change that.
Well, here we go. He's going to be tested, drops the smoke, he stays. I like that play. I'm not sure if they'll expect this whatsoever. We'll have to wait and see. Again, Ago's attempt to get ladder control more or less established at this point in time. And Endpoint, hold on a minute. Lehman's got to be careful because... Here we go, surprise, surprise, and well, there you go. First kill on the board. Crucial will find it. Drops the AK to Surreal. And now, I think you've got to more focus in on towards B, and that's exactly where we got 2 players positioned. One towards site, one on van. Thomas is 5'7". Yes, it's not a deagle. However, that close range blast someone in the head. That's it. Round gone. smoke towards top con should be indicative of that short push, and that's where Thomas and Max, they really have to come alive. Stem to success here, and this is the round to do it in. Max gets the information. Thomas up close. Furlan, does he expect it? No, he doesn't. Thomas finds the first. 5-7 back and forth. Max needs to find the kill, but nothing off the back of it. A 2v3. Messi, what is that shot? A 2v2, we're all tied up. Post-plant situation, not impossible because a double AK's been picked up for Endpoint.
Yeah, double AK secured, so they can easily go for this. Will they expect the cat play in, though? It doesn't seem like Snatchy's watching for it. Now he'll turn his attention, though. The boost up. Will he be hitting the flick? Yes, he will. What a flick in from Snatchy. Even lands the tag, but not quite the frag. On to Surreal. Now a 1 versus 1. 28 versus 28 HP, but one player has the bomb ticking in his favor. Wait, hold on. Surreal actually gets his way over to the site. Could bait Fiku forward, but the time is just simply too far gone. Fiku stalls out. There simply isn't time here for Surreal. He will be able to recover the AWP. He gets all the kills, but there will be no defuse. That will be 7 for AGO. And finally, they take the lead here on their map pick. Endpoint, though, will have a hefty buy to try and match them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a very, very close affair on Mirage. Heading into the ultimate round of the first half, an investment coming from Endpoint. Of course, that saved AWP is sort of stemming that idea and giving Endpoint a bit of hope. 5 kills in the previous, but I mean, look at the money here for the T side. It's not great. Winning this round, I mean, it's not impossible. Grenade goes through, Molly top middle, so no gunshots fired, but a very small HP lead. Max trying to take a fight to short, and he is successful. A really nice first frag, spamming on through, trying to catch out the chair player. Mezzi getting spammed up, not converted though, and a 5v4, and Ago seemed a bit panicked for the trade here. Gotta find a kill, but Mezzi out on top on the second. Yes, he's low HP, but a 5v3 scenario, you've got to unwind a lot here if you're AGO.
Yeah, it's finally some of these players are waking up for Endpoint. Mezzi has been hitting his stride so far this game, and he's not going to stop. I believe Fiku's also been spotted by the off of Surreal. Secondary in CT, and that Molotov misses. That allows him to peek on out, and also, well, Crucial doesn't need anything to peek on. He's just going to go swinging for the fences, but somehow that misses. So that allows Fiku to get him up close and personal here. This will be bad if Crucial misses, but that's the question. He doesn't miss. He goes 1 for 1, and Thomas has his back. So just leaving Snatchy here, a 1 versus 3, but he will get himself the first here. And suddenly, again, another one of these clutches potentially here for AGO. We almost had a Rollin 1 versus 4, but this one is so much more in the realms of possibility.
Gotta get the bomb. Gotta get it down. 28 seconds remain. Snatchy clearing out angles one by one. Wants to make sure no one's in jungle. But the problem is, all the time he's spending clearing this is time he needs to spend getting the bomb. Oh, yeah. So he clears this angle, but I mean, that's taking him, what, 10 seconds? Bomb's still out in the open. Does pick it up. Throws the flash. Does he have time? No way.
Oh,
okay, never mind. Yeah, someone's gonna hold him down, or are they? 6, 5, 4, 3, round gone. Snatchy, no chance. And yeah, I mean, Surreal waits patiently. He knows that time was going to be a problem. And I mean, this is exactly what I was worried about. I mean, yes, Endpoint take a fair few casualties, 4 or 5. And into this round, the buy isn't going to be good. Crucial can drop across one. Look at the buy here for AGO. Look at the money. We're just not to the level you would have thought, considering 5 rounds in a row. Endpoint win 1 right back. And now look at the money. Next to nothing. We've got an AK, we've got a Galil, we've got an AWP, but a Deagle and a P250 to accompany it. Very, very wobbly here for the poles, and into the last of the half. Again, jump boost made, and a double setup brought forward for Endpoint.
Would be tested though. Oh, but nice Johnson from Lehman, and he's even gonna extinguish the Molotov. This is so smart, but there is the off in Surreal. There's a huge rotation here. All of these players are here ready to fight, and Max is here with the MP9. That's a triple kill for him, and Surreal's just gonna close the round. AGO thought they had the opportunity to jump onto the B site, but there's a stack in play. Surreal saves Mighty Max effectively, and well, Max can do the talking here. That's going to be 8-7. That's a half victory for the Brits. But we'll have to see what AGO have to bring to their T side. And what a lovely way to close out this half.
Max did a really good job in this angle as well. Like, you got to think, this is one-shot headshot potential here from Fiku. And potentially from Rallon with the Deeg. And Mighty Max just, against all odds, keeps firing off the shots, keeps delivering. And that is exactly what they needed into the second half. Endpoint in front. On the T side, it becomes a little harder. However, we know Endpoint definitely don't turn away from something like this. And interestingly enough, of the rounds won of Endpoint since the start of this lineup on Mirage, it is a down the middle 50-50 split of CT and T rounds. So, going by anything, they've exactly won half of what they need here. You know, it's not impossible. Statistics would dictate they will be reaching 16 by the end of this game. But we know statistics sometimes aren't the way. We were talking about the double whammy for Fiend 2 times in a week. Once in the main Swiss of here, the Spring Sweet Spring 3, which was taken to quadruple overtime and they won 28-26. On the flip side, they played in the Elisa Invitational Summer, not even 5 days after, in which they got demolished 16-3. So, you know, swings and roundabouts to the Endpoint situation. And Ego got to be careful out towards 8. A triple stack on Palace. Right side smoke thrown. It's a deep con smoke. Or, yeah, it is a deep con smoke. And now this is where Lehman has to pull up huge. He is on the stairs angle, trying to find the shots, but the player's overwhelmed. Viku in for a first dink onto Lehman, though. It is a 5v4, but here we go. Pistols up close. This is where they exceed. Oh my good god, Max. Up close and personal. 2 players in towards jungle. In fact, making a third. And Messi finds the low HP of Viku. Off to a great start here. Endpoint rallying in for another. Max got to drop away. 2 points of health at a 3v3. It's so close here, but the afterplant has to be perfect from Endpoint.
They will be emerging from their corners, hiding holes, and all the likes. Some solid shooting from Snatchy, but he has to find some more here in the clutch. Does have armor, but does he have the kit? Does he have time? Mezzi can play this clock. Snatchy could pull this off realistically, though. But Mezzi knows he's off the bomb, and Snatchy's chasing. Snatchy is hunting. He is moving so quickly. He knows where Mezzi is hiding from. And Mezzi will be getting the frag. 9-7 there for Endpoint. And they walk away with the pistol round. And, I mean, this is the brewings of potentially a Mirage victory.
Wow. Wow. What a round from Endpoint. So close as well. Plus all of the money they would have gotten from this pistol, the kills and everything. This is really, really impressive Counter-Strike from Endpoint so far. 9-7 the scoreline. The force buy from AGO. 4 Deagles and a Scout. I mean, it's not impossible. That's the important factor. Grenade over the top. We've seen Endpoint from this exact position win. And we know AGO last time beating them 2-0 about a month ago. And well, things have changed since then. Endpoint looking for revenge. Nice grenade. Oh my good god. So much damage done to Rowland here early doors.
And Ego needs this. If they lose here, it's gonna be 11-7. And that's a very difficult scoreline to battle back from. The first gun round is a necessity. Your back is already effectively placed against the wall here. And while opening frag here from Mezzi picks off the Palace aggression, Viku is going to have to hold things down here with the Deagle, and, well, he's definitely the man for the job, if anyone on Ego is, but swings out into nearly the entire team. You're not going to find much luck doing that. Rollin does pick off 1 through smoke, and there is some decent damage dealt so far, but a 2-on-4, it seems just too far gone.
No, absolutely. I think Thomas had an 8k in that round, right? I'm not too sure. I thought he did at least, so that could be a gun picked up in the wrong hands if they can find their way out towards top connector. I'm wondering if Endpoint, obviously that communication would have been relayed already, you know, what gun Thomas had in that situation. I'm just wondering if Endpoint want to dig deep for it and find themselves the picked up weapon. I think whatever it was better than the Mac 10, I'll tell you that for free. So, yeah, I think at this point in time, we just got to hope for the best for AGO heading into this bye, because next round it is an eco. We do have Deagle and armor brought forward into this next round, 2 of them in fact. So damage could be done, no doubt about it, but Endpoint now taking the lead. Let's see what they can do. And in fact, yeah, Thomas had a Galil heading into the round, but it wasn't picked up whatsoever. So a bit of a lost gun, but at the same time, keeping these Mac 10s is actually really smart, I think, from Endpoint. They know they're going to be on an eco in the next, so why not punish them as best as you can and make the most money out of it?
Gotta make the most out of your current situation, say Endpoint. And full eco in from AGO. Again, losing the round. I spoke of it previously. It might just be 11-7 here. But there's always a chance. We saw how competitive Endpoint were in their full eco rounds. Maybe AGO can do them one better and win this. But with such aggression towards A, such pace, AGO don't have this information quite yet. So they will have the opportunity. likely for the save. I mean, Endpoint will have this A site just gifted for free. Mighty Max getting inquisitive here on the B site, just kind of expanding the feelers, just trying to see what this defense is looking like, trying to sense out a stack. And, well, as the execute rolls in here from Endpoint, this will be the conclusion of the round, effectively. But how much money will the MAC-10s make? That is the big question, Retro. They got some pinatas waiting on the B site. And, well, it's about to be a party.
Time to go swinging. And, oh, crucial. Got to be careful. Drops the molly. Actually blocked by his teammates, so it's a shallow one. And Thomas is even dipping in for a MAC-10. I've only just realised that he invested the MAC-10 into this round as well. They were really going for this money. And here we go. Yeah, exactly that. Opening things up. Furlan will find one. And here you go. Starting to pepper the unarmoured opponents. So much money for the MAC-10s. And I love what Endpoint are doing here. Max caught with his grenade out, I think. And crucial, last man standing with the MAC-10. I don't think it really matters in this round if you give up the MAC-10s. At the end of the day, you're going to be forfeiting it to the M4s anyway. You'd be silly if you're Ago to keep them. Crucial does pick up another MAC-10. They go aggressive. Lehman try to find it. But at the end of the day, it does not matter. You see, at the Ago camp, things are getting interesting. No doubt about that one. But their chance to respond here in round 19. This has to be the round that Ago want to win here. If they don't pick this one up, I think it's for the worst here. Because definitely Endpoint with a lead, with so much momentum on this T side, you've got to be careful.
Exactly so. Full buy-in, must win here for Ego, but there is a one-way for Snatchy to play with. He doesn't spot anything from it. In fact, Mighty Max will just be able to beat out the edge of his scope here, make his way towards the bottom of Connector, and meanwhile, Endpoint have lurked out from A main. They're playing their own set of smokes here. Fiku getting aggressive, but Endpoint are catching all the timings.
Wow. This could be big, but Mighty Max, the smoke fades, and that's him gone. He does clear back towards Connector. Fiku, the molly not going to quite catch the ninja player, but the information gathered. Thomas to spam him down. A 4v4. Not impossible here whatsoever, as now Lehman holds down the amp. Great flashbang from Furlan to find the first. Thomas catches in midair, though. A really impressive trade. Again, Endpoint now back and forth Counter-Strike, and it benefits them majorly. A 3v3 scenario. No smoke towards jungle. Missed shot from Snatchy, and that allows for the wider peaks here from Endpoint. They take the stairs control. They take the fight. Bomb out in the open and drop right into the jaws of Furlan. Thomas with a third in the round. A big damage done here. Mezzy in the 1v2 has found the first, but 15 points of health. Got to be careful. The stairs player of Rowland. He was picked up, information gathered, and slam dunk. Good night. It is AGO with their 8 in a round they desperately needed to piece together.
Huge. Huge that they win this. They only survive with one player, though, but nevertheless, you need to get past that hurdle. There will still be another one thrown at them from Endpoint, though. Another full gun round. When you get past that first hurdle, you can start to build back into the CT side. Your money can actually get off the ground.
Well, I do believe we've had a disconnect of fire. Well,
it's all good. I'm back.
Oh, he's here. We're living. We are living. And, well, someone isn't. And that person is Mighty Max. He's been sniped down by the AWP. Didn't particularly expect the peak to happen there. And AGO only man advantage brought back once more. Double molly in deep. Snatchy. Try to find something. Maybe, you know, edging around. Rowland, maybe dropping the nade in as well. I'm really unsure about how this one's going to play out. Rowland gets boosted high. Do Endpoint expect this? Thomas, he's got to anticipate that. I do believe it was even him that boosted Max over the top to get that initial... Oh my good god. Both players caught blind. Fiku's flashbang catching him off guard, and Surreal just waits and waits and waits, and peekaboo, you found the kill. Crucial, firing off a shot, spots him back on the CT cross, so he knows he's in on this right side. Jungle control obtained here for Endpoint. Now, hold on a second. Yes, they are disadvantaged in numbers, but the positioning here for Surreal is huge. If he can find the flank on CT, this is big. Really, really important that he can find this kill, and he'll have the back turn, no doubt about it.
Oh my.
No player on the B flank either.
He can even knife. Oh no, Fiku turns around and Fiku's aware!
Wow.
Fiku drops Surreal, and that was the X factor in the round for Endpoint. Now it's just remaining to these two main players. Just have to swing in a snatch it off. Good luck with that. And Furlan will close out the proceedings. big round again. 2 gun rounds strung in a row here from AGO, and now they can start to grind back into this game because Endpoint are on an eco.
Yeah, really, really good stuff from AGO back into the game. And yeah, no doubt about it. This is their chance to get things, I think, really back level and put up a fight rather than picking up the organ. So yeah, a very easy investment for AGO here into round 21. Missed jump from Lehman, and AWP to at least cover as he dips out towards connector. Snapchy opens up, really impressive first. Mezzi trades. Nice shot onto Fiku, the A player dead, and Molly dropped in. I mean, Endpoint taking this one slow, out towards mid, crucial. Swings into the jaws of the AWP, but again, a second kill granted. AGO, man advantage. And again, Thomas up close. Yeah, gunned down by the AWP. Flashbang's good. Max actually slip into default. And, well, money in their pockets. It is the eco, but they found themselves a bomb plant. Really good stuff, but next to no damage done. So, swings and roundabouts, but Endpoint won't be too disheartened about that round whatsoever.
If you're on an eco, I mean, you can call that a win if you want to say. I mean, you not necessarily the damage you were looking for, but you get a bomb plant, and you can see the coffers are definitely full for the Endpoint side. Even a couple of their players will have some residual left over if they go down to the AKs. I think actually right now there's consideration in the Endpoint camp. Mezzi thinking if he should drop an op over to Crucial, but that decision will be made. There will be no op in play. It'll be all AKs, allowing for that sort of aggression to be had. You can play very fast-paced Counter-Strike. Can't necessarily do so with the AWP. So definitely something to be had here for Endpoint. And so now into this one. They can bounce back, or AGO can keep this one level.
Absolutely. Molly in towards middle. Grenade goes deep. Nothing found. Crucial low. And Thomas taking a bit of damage as well. He's got to be really careful for that Molly. It's not going to touch him. He's all right to keep his life in now, but a HE grenade, and that's it. Round done for him. So he's really got to be careful. Play the, you know, the more passive angles, the post plants, maybe take the control or the aggression and allow for a teammate to trade at the same time. The B site, that's going to be tested here for AGO, and one player at the forefront, and it's Furlan who guns down Surreal through the smoke. Really impressive first. And now Thomas getting a bit aggressive, trying to go for the trade, but again, 4v5, smoke blocked, right on out into the jaws, and there you go, AGO just clean sweep, 2 players gone. Mezzi and Crucial alone in a really important round. Mezzi good for 1, Lehman trades, and the low HP against 4. Crucial, I think this one's too far gone for you, my friend, and AGO to tie things up.
Again, AGO had the stack in. They had all the information they needed. They had the proper mid control. They knew what was coming effectively. And it was so easily dealt with. Not a chance on the B side execute for Endpoint. And so, it'll be an even scoreline here. And AGO are fast getting back into their map pick. That's what they're looking for to get back into it. And this is, again, another gun round in their favor. This just bodes even better. It's not like they're winning ecos. They're not winning the free rounds, so to speak. And even Crucial won't be able to hold on to his AK. But all things being said here, AGO winning gun round after gun round is a real statement for what their CT side can bring. And now they'll get the easy round. Now they'll be able to get down to these pistols. I mean, it might just get easier. It could just be 5 on the trot here. AGO are looking on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really impressive Counter-Strike from AGO so far. Endpoint, no doubt about it, they have played unbelievable in this game, but now AGO's turn to turn up, and that's exactly what they've done. Nice grenade, catching Snatchy for a bit of damage. Nice. Fiku, really easy adjustment, a second kill on the peak, and the 3v5 to ensue once again. Endpoint early disadvantages are going to rock them in the later stages. Rallying in for one more, Lehman another, and all down to Mighty Max. No damage done on the eco, but it is a buy into the future. Endpoint round 24 has to be theirs, because it's 12-11 ahead for AGO right now.
And right now, AGO just seem like they're in cruise control, but there's one final chance here. Not final necessarily, but it'll start to get very, very oppressive if AGO win this round. So this is their chance to sort of ease that pressure off themselves. So, gun round in for Endpoint, and they're just going to bring it all down to an A execute. They're going to keep it simple and just try and beat them in the gunfights. That's how confident Endpoint are. Let's see how it pans out.
Snatchy up close. Does find the first. Really good. Lehman in for a second crucial trade. But it's back and forth. Lehman. What a triple. Really nice spray down. Mezzi left alone. And as quick as it starts, it ends because it's Mezzi against 4. Half health already. There's so many different factors. Grenade sends him even lower. And Lehman will pick up his 4th within the round. Really good counter-strike. So impressive. And Ago in front by 2 now. And of course, we're going to replay. Snatchy finds the opener, switching over to Lehman's POV straight after. And that's exactly where he exceeds. A first kill. Crucial does trade, but at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, easy stuff. AGO 13-11.
Yeah, perfect setup to counter such an A execute like that. You play aggressive versus it. Oh, we're going to see the exact same thing. We're seeing a mirror of a round here. And it's almost a mirror setup here from AGO. There's another off up close of Snatchy. He'll fire off, but all right. All things being considered, AGO played that previous round perfectly, but they're going to need to do this again in this one. It's another A execute, this time with the pistols.
Snatchy opens up with 1, smokes in his face. Got to be careful, but he somehow finds himself a second and a third. Really nice trade from Mezzi for the damage done. Or has it been? Oh my good god! Endpoint clapped back with 3 kills out of nowhere. It is going to be an AWP picked up quite possibly here for the post plant. Mighty Max thinking about edging across, but the smoke is going to fade out. Rowland does hear Mezzi stepping, a first kill. Mighty Max against 2. Gonna try and get spammed down, but he's got to be careful. Really managing the angles well. Grenade goes over. Low HP off the initial. Molly forces him out, and really well played from Rowland there to defuse the situation. And he will be giving Ago their 14th, but a run for their money here in the previous 14-11, but 3 kills on the half by Endpoint. That is one hell of a round.
Oh yeah, but okay, yeah, you might have 30 kills on the half buy, but Ago have won, was that 7 rounds in a row now, and that their pockets can't fit all their cash. Some of them on 16 grand to start this round. I mean, this kind of just highlights the dominance that they've been in so far here on Mirage. And Endpoint have yet to stem the bleeding on this T side. It was a good start. It was looking dire. It was 11-7 here, but Ago have fought right back, and I mean, they've been playing the good Counter-Strike to back it all up, but finally something in for Endpoint, finally an opener for Crucial.
Yeah, that's what they needed, just something to work with. And well, here we go, smoke fades, leg shot, but Crucial finds the kill. So he's low HP, but a second kill on the board now, and this is where it becomes problematic. Surreal, you've got to clear above you if you do peak, but no, they helped against it. And I'm really impressed to see how Endpoint are playing this one. Just taking it second by second, a 3rd kill found, this time from Mighty Max, not from the AWP of Crucial. Grenade goes over, but nowhere near the damage that's been impacted here. Missed shot from Fiku, and I think that's the end of the round, unless Furlan can go huge. I do believe so. Yes, the low HP players are there, but only 1 casualty. Surreal, if he finds this kill, yeah, definitely round gone now. As Fiku in a 1v4. It's just about damage at this point, and Surreal, I mean, drops the smoke. He wants to think that he's rotated. Fiku going to try and clear the angle, and Surreal, yeah, he's going to be gifted a kill here, no doubt about it. And Endpoint find their 12th. They're in this game. It's a very close margin, but they are in this game. And, well, on a TV screen, it seems our partners over at Pinnacle, of course, you can bet on the odds like you see on screen throughout the games. Go over to teb.gg/odds and use the VIP code SPRING21 to get a bonus deposit on sign up. Bet €20, get €20 using code SPRING21, 18+. And of course, all those terms and conditions apply. Heading into round 27, though, I'd be very interested to see what the odds are like, because we were talking about long-term, Ago's money looking good. But they've got one more buy in their pocket here. If this goes 13-14, it's a last-ditch buy here for AGO. They've got to win one of the next 2. Otherwise, Endpoint will steal away this game.
Yeah, Endpoint have the opportunity to really layer on the pressure here. And it's AGO who are forced to bring out the plays, bring out the aggression, and Furlan gonna try and bring some in. Thomas tapping away, gets the information. And again, it's gonna draw more utility out of AGO's pockets. Because of this aggression, there won't be much utility remaining for a site execute if Endpoint can just reclaim some of this ground. That's as simple as it is. Just take procedural map control and don't get picked. But Snatchy, might be able to pick off Surreal or these Cat players, but the perfectly timed utility in from Endpoint, able to allow them forward, but Rollin trying to push through his own smoke. This is genius, but he's gonna get blinded, and Surreal's not ready for it. Surreal isn't ready for it. Are they ready for Mighty Max here in ladder, though? It seems like they are. Fernlin knows something's up. Rollin is gonna be closing in. Mighty Max is ready for it, but Rollin is still too good for it. Now with 3-on-5, into the site they go. Well, Thomas will be able to drop actually a double. Now this round is all of a sudden in the hands of Endpoint. 3 clean entries onto the site.
Well, Lehman finds one. 2v2. Low HP for the Endpoint camp. Mezzi in empty. Thomas up close.
Low HP.
Yeah, exactly that. And here we go. Pressuring on forward. Got to find the first. Closing in on the gap though as Mezzi finds the opener. Thomas needs to pull up huge and he can't. Mezzi low. Lehman knows this. Gonna try and test. Grenade does so much damage. Mezzi tries to keep his cool, but Lehman out on top. Does he have the time? Yes, he does. It's a 15th on the board for AGO. Close as could be, but he just needed to survive and he can't get it done. It will be a rebuy into round 28 for Endpoint. The money's there most certainly for it. But that could have gone either way. That first kill from Mezzi, good. But they just needed to hide. Thomas in this off angle, I mean, I see what they were trying to do. But I think the high HP player just has to hide. You have to play for the bomb. I don't think you can take the engagements there. And that's exactly how they lose out. Mezzi overextends maybe. And that's the end of that. 15-12.
Huge clutch from Lehman. Again, though, Endpoint with an opportunity to strike right back. Boost in from A main. Trying to pull out the gimmicks here. Trying to beat AGO, catch them lacking just a bit. And, well, Crucial will have an opportunity, but an opportunity squandered. Still, though, Mighty Max able to walk up catwalk, but gets spotted. Still, though, has the access towards Cat. He's still a thorn at AGO's side. They know he's here yet. And he's even going to be standing above the flames. He's going to stick around. He's going to be a real nuisance here, coming into at least this B site. Still non-committal here from Endpoint, but they are throwing some very big suggestions towards AGO that this might be turning into a B play.
Molly and Mighty Max, got to be careful. Oh, off angle, but wow.
Rollin.
What a kill. Opening things up, traded, yes indeed, Crucial anticipated that play and that's exactly what he was gifted. A 4v4, Rollin low HP, Surreal in a fairly similar situation but higher HP for the Endpoint side. Could be big. And now heading into the last 35 seconds. What a shot from Lehman. Crucial gone. 3v4 scenario. The last outburst towards A. Surreal's got to find the kill, but he's out on top. Mezzi will trade the 2v3. Org try to spam down, and this is where it becomes problematic. Mezzi has to get across to plant the bomb. 20 seconds to go. I don't think they're gonna have the time to do this. It has to come from the kills. Mezzi still waiting. 12 seconds, boosting over the top. 10 seconds to go. I don't think this is the right play, and there you go. Bomb gone, but into the hands of Thomas. Taps it, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, missed shot, finds the first kill, but it's all done and dusted. 16-12, AGO take Map 1, as close as could be, but they find it in the end. A slow start out the gate, but they make it work, and heading into Map 2, Vertigo, Endpoint's map pick, a bit of confidence maybe, a very good start. Celebrations at the AGO camp, but they've got to keep their cool because Map 2 of Vertigo, Endpoint's last stab at top 8, up next.
Are you ready to experience the next step in esports entertainment? Don't just watch the game. Become a part of it. Make predictions, compete against others, win prizes. Stream cards. Sign up for the closed beta now.
Map number 1 was close until it wasn't. And well, we find ourselves here in the pistol round here on the opponent's map pick of Vertigo. This is Endpoint selection. Ega were able to take this first map, and we're already up to a flying start here on Vertigo. Already a brawl out to the A round. Bomb is already on the ground, and frags are already in the feed.
Furlan finds himself a double traded out, but Crucial wanting to hunt heads, go for more. Thomas out of no man's land will get taken down, rallying in with Mighty Max, and just like that, pistol done and dusted. AGO get themselves a very comfortable start. My question is, how can they uphold that though? Endpoint into the second round. Wouldn't be surprised if we see an eco here to get a buy in the next. But hold on a minute, Thomas opts for the armor, and that's it. Full investment for Endpoint heading into a second.
Yeah, we're quickly into this, off to a fiery start, and didn't really give us time to go ahead and break it all down, because map number 1, I mean, AGO were able to string together 7 in a row, and effectively it was too much for Endpoint to handle. And now, well, AGO find themselves in a little bit of a lead themselves here on this map, and it's just going to be trucking here with the MP9, and well, it's going to be easy. It should be easy days, at least, unless Endpoint want to make something of this round. Out towards the middle they go, and Furlan's not anymore. I was about to say Furlan's Hamas, but now it's on the ground. 4-on-4 here. Fiku is the lone man on the site. This is actually an opportunity here for Endpoint to strike. Fiku has to double up here. He cannot get traded, and there you go. He has his teammate in snatching with him, and quickly that threat is quelled. This will turn into a 1 versus 3 for Mighty Max, but 32 HP isn't all that much to work with, and there you go. That's 2 on the board for the Poles.
Yeah, exactly. Really good counter-strike being brought out for the CT side. Endpoint dismissed quite quickly here. Heading into future rounds, my hopes are still high. No doubt about it, we saw some great counter-strike from Endpoint. My question is, though, you know, can we see that fire we saw in Mirage again? It's a heartbreaking defeat on map 1, no doubt about it, but they really need to just bounce back and find themselves in form. Thomas opts in for a Tech 9 armor here, everyone else just on the pistols. Heading into the third round again, this should be a farm for Ego. Fiku only good for 1, nice trade for the Snatchy Orb, but at the same time, leaving it on behind on ramp, has found another 4v2 already. Endpoint, they seem a bit dismantled here.
Yeah, nothing much to really talk about in this round. It is just the Tech 9, a Deagle only for Crucial, because he's trying to save up for that AWP, I would assume. And for Ego, they're already on the prowl. Like, they are so frag hungry right now. They could lose a couple of guns, and I mean, that would be the proper Counter-Strike, if anything. But all things being considered, oh, there you go. They will lose 1 extra one, but all things being considered, AGO is not too much of a dent into their economy. In these early stages, Snatchy will get dropped on over an AWP, and we do have some Counter-Strike to be played. Full buy-in for Endpoint to try and keep those scales level. And they're looking to bounce back from Mirage. It felt like it was going to be a very, very competitive map. They got off to an early start as well. Potentially, Endpoint could have been winning it. But at the end of all of it, it was AGO who put together 7 rounds on the trot. Endpoint couldn't make the comeback. And now we find ourselves here on Vertigo, down a map. But an opportunity to strike back here with the guns. Out towards ramp. And we'll see what utility they have on offer. Let's see what set strategies. See if we see anything different here on Vertigo from the Endpoint camp.
Well, good night. Crucial gone. Surreal gone as well. It's a really good start. Traded out at least Thomas to find the aggressor of Furlan. Mighty Max. Is he going to slip right by here? No, surely not. Oh, I'm on. Yeah, he spotted. He spotted. Rowland, he's waiting for it. So he knows there's one. He knows there's one. Just waiting. Jiggling. Dink, dink. Good night. And Mezzy. I mean, he is going to be going for a trade, but look, they crouch. But no noise has been made off the back of it. That's the thing. But still, Thomas doesn't expect it. We're down to 1. Only Mezzy. What a round of counter-strike by AGO. And it's going to be a 4th on the board unless Mezzy could pull off the unthinkable.
I mean, that's a clean shot to start. That's a statement in this clutch, but he does have many more where that came from. Off of Snatchy fires off. Doesn't quite hit the mark, though. And spots out. All 3 players have been spotted out here for Mezzy, but 30 seconds is going to make him tough to navigate this clutch. Snatchy not quite connecting yet again. Only 4 bullets in the magazine, though, and it's excellently played. It's the bait and switch. Rollin eventually will slip the knife in the back, and that will be 4-0 for AGO.
Well, Endpoint back to the pistols, it seems. not really the greatest of starts here on Vertigo. Something I don't think any of us expected here. I think we wanted a quick start out the gate for the T side, for Endpoint to get some rounds in their bag and be like, you know what, let's continue this momentum. But it just seems that AGO more than prepared for this one. Grades go shallow, expecting the peak, anticipating the push. Nothing right now, absolutely nothing. This grenade rally, yeah, gunned down. Mighty Max will find the first, and a good bit of pincer play, a gun possibly to be retrieved, but still early doors at a 5v4. These rifles against the pistols. Yes, there's a rogue rifle now going to be picked up, but it should be in the bag for AGO.
They do have 2 smokes, though, here for Endpoint. They can deploy the wall of smokes here on this A site and maybe get themselves into a post-plant position. Even then, it's still difficult because AGO have boatloads of utility ready to throw right on back. But if a post-plant is established, anything can be possible. So, Fiku looking to take this back in his hands. This could be dangerous. This is so dangerous, but he's so good. That's the thing. It's not dangerous when you're Fiku, when you have the aim of this lad. And he's even going to continue in towards the short shelf. Looking to battle out versus any extra Ts. Not quite going to find anything. The Molly does burn a couple of these Endpoint players. But right now, that'll force them back, and they'll turn tail back towards this B side, or maybe towards middle. Up the ladder they do go. Still trying to kind of spread out the feelers here. If you are Endpoint, maybe you can find an isolated frag and convert that into a round. That's a hop, skip, and a jump to be sure. Sachi hasn't been quite connecting these shots all game just yet, but Lehman has. So there you go. We'll be able to spray away at these pistols, and this one should be put to bed.
Well, Cyril finds another. Oh my good god, Cyril, how is he allowed to steal away the kill off of Thomas? It's still Mezzy against 2. Not impossible.
10 seconds.
Bomb and the AWP, and oh, he does find both of them.
No
yeah,
time.
no chance. Now the round gone. If he can save this sniper though, that is huge. Fiku closing in the gap. Missed shot from Mezzy, but he does stay alive. Decent enough. I think that's the easiest statement to be made. And heading into round 6, we can see that was Rossar and of course the rest of Endpoint looking good. Waiting patiently to just, you know what, now's our chance. It has to come from this by fire. I feel like if they can't find this round of all, it's 6-0 down. Endpoint back to a half bite. That's not the start. Thomas anticipating the flash. Rallen will catch him off completely. Crucial in for the trade.
No.
Never mind. This is a 2-man disadvantage. Make it a third as Fiku finds 2. Impressive counter-strike to say the least. And it's now a 2v5 right out the gate. Endpoint have been demolished.
There is a reply here from Max, but what really is there to say in this round? A 2-on-4. You've barely taken any map control, and in the map control that you try to take back, there's just Snatchy waiting. Mezzy goes down. Mighty Max, a 1-on-4, but this one just is nigh on undoable. There's the factors for a clutch are just simply not present. Verlin is alone here on the site. That is an exploit. Max could take, but now that he's spotted, now the rest of AGO can rotate on in, and life will become slowly but surely very, very difficult here for Mighty Max. And this one should be the rest here. Verlin swings out on the timing to perfection, and that is 6 on the trot here for AGO. This is bad news for Endpoint so far in this game. These rounds are beginning to fade very, very fast. This has been fast and aggressive Counter-Strike from AGO so far, and immediately putting this one to bed. There's no chance in from Endpoint, and that's a real harm to the confidence. When you just play around a Counter-Strike and it just ends in 15 seconds, and already down 6-0, blink and you miss it if you're Endpoint, you're up against the ropes. But this is the round to turn it on its head.
Yeah, some serious damage or a round conversion here would be a desperate requirement for Endpoint to get back into this game. As you mentioned, these rounds are just flying by at speed. Ago not wasting any seconds to find the opening, not wasting any seconds to try and find something. And Mighty Max, he really needed to find something. Nothing found off the back of it. And you know, 7 rounds of Counter-Strike, and it looks to be 7 on the board for Ago as Lehman will find a second through the smoke. Really good stuff from the AKs of the CT side. Finally, one taken out of the round, but it's a 4v3 and an AWP rotation plus the player in on lane. This is near impossible. Nice flick from Snatchy. Molotov as well to set them back, and it's Crucial and Mezzy that had to fight out of everything.
Snatchy's been so good this entire tournament. He's looking to even continue this on this A site. Well, while Endpoint will be able to make their way up behind these smokes, and Crucial is going to make his attempt at a bomb plan to actually be transited. So a 2-on-4, make it 3. Crucial will begin to cut down the numbers just a bit and actually be able to escape. Suddenly, this is realizable for Endpoint. Down goes Rawl. Now it's a 2-on-2. How have we gotten to this situation, Retro? Now we're in this. Crucial with a nasty off angle, but the low HP will get the better of him. Mezzy playing the headshot angle, and he'll deliver a couple instead. Now Snatchy here in the 1 versus 1. He does have a hit, so he does have the opportunity to fake this bomb defusal. But Mezzy is going to go ahead and deliver the headshot, deliver the goods for Endpoint in a much-needed first.
What was that? I do not believe Mezzy's just come out on top. I do not believe whatsoever. First kill, okay, fair enough. No trade and Mezzy, the guillotine. Jesus, man. Really impressive stuff. And you can see on screen the odds. Even though, yes, it is 6-1, they're near level. They are near level. And heading into round 8, AGO, they're up by 5, but a great response from Mezzy in this round. And right back on their feet, it seems. They're more than willing to go balls against the wall into round 8 and attempt something big once again, but taking things slower, it seems to be. Ago not really giving them much to work with. No aggressive peaks that we saw from the first few rounds. More or less just playing things slow, giving them respect now.
In this round though, Rollin does get boosted up, does spot Max, but almost straight off of it. Kind of loses the floor underneath him. And so, well, the information gained from AGO, so they can work this and get the players in the right position at the right time. But Endpoint can just beat them out on the execute. How about that? Flashbangs soon to be deployed. Rollin up close, though. This could be so very lethal if Endpoint aren't careful.
Here we go, edging on forward. First kill found. Crucial trades. Mighty Max in for another. And the trade not there for Ago. Flashbang forcing Snatchy off the angle. Does anticipate the wide swing, but in fact, very slow out the gate here. Missed shot from Snatchy. Fiku in for 1. Fiku in second. Look at the flank though. Furling in on behind.
Exactly.
He's got a really big chance in this round. Mezzy punching in the digits. Planted for lane. Both players heading that way. They won't expect this whatsoever. He has anticipated this one. Can't find a thing though because Mezzy out on top. A second on the board for Endpoint. Right back in this game.
Mezzy has just been annihilating in these last 2 rounds. It's a 3-piece for him on the bomb site execute, and just huge awareness to know, or maybe it wasn't even awareness, maybe it was just a flick. We didn't see his perspective there. But either way, he's been going absolutely massive in these past couple of rounds for Endpoint, and he successfully, single-handedly, effectively broken the money of AGO. It's going to be a full eco here in round number 9. This one could just be a write-off if you're just looking at the percentages, but AGO always a chance to shake those ones up. But all things being considered, this is now it's Endpoint's chance to start stringing together rounds. Now it's their chance to make their way back here onto their map pick and get us ever closer to a third.
Well, Endpoint given a chance, given an opportunity. Minute and 15 to go. And these Deagles, I mean, you're going to have an absolute S-tier requirement for this round. And already a bit of damage done, majoritively to Diego HP bars, peeking on out. Deagle still can't connect, but 2 low HP
damage.
players. That is big. Now, 55 seconds, still bomb yet to see it set down. Thomas taking some damage as well. So, yes, it's a 5v4, but one Deagle really could come alive here. 5v3, maybe a little less possible now. Spamming on through. Mezzy trying to connect with a couple of bullets. Another kill found for Endpoint. Thomas going huge. Snatchy against 5. I mean, it's a possible 3k. No doubt about that one. 3 players open to the one-shot potential to the body. But at the same time, you've got to be careful. You really got to be careful here of where you push and what to do. But at the point in time, I think Endpoint, no doubt about it, going to find themselves a third.
Yeah, they got the AKs. They can deal all the damage they want. Ego will be able to buy that into the next, or actually, that actually is a good enough question in its own right. It will be a bit of a patchy buy. They bought in the Deagles for this round, so it's not going to be everything they want. It will be some head armorless M4s, maybe no kits, even utility minimal if they want to bring it out. We might see some FAMASas in the mix if they want to bring out some utility, and there you go. Look at that, only $4,000. We might be seeing a half buy-in from Ego, and this could easily be the opportunity that Endpoint need to get back into the game. But if Ego can lock in one of these upset rounds, then you can call it their half. This is their opportunity. I mean, it feels like if Ego just win one of these upset rounds, then Endpoint will broken. The momentum will just end on the spot. But that's a big if, and those percentages aren't looking very great. These type of rounds are somewhere in the range of 85% in favor of these half, or rather in the favor of these full bomb AK-47s. So we'll have to see what the Deagles can bring to the table. Fiku is definitely a man for that task. You're on the B site, and there you go. Down goes Crucial. Lands a body shot on a Thomas as well, more than he's worth. Snatchy will pick up the mantle, and potential here for Ego.
Grenade does some damage, mulling in towards the headshot position, and this is where Endpoint had to exploit. Surely this is where they go, but no, they hold off. AK thrown out of the map, Thomas to pick up the AWP. Well, 1 minute and 8 seconds. There you go. Still a chance, no doubt about that one. Deep control out towards A, sandbags position obtained. We've got a Molotov on Mighty Max that could be used. Other than that, this angle has to be hard cleared if they want to use the molly for other intents and purposes. Max, does he use it here? No, he doesn't. Are they going to check the angle? Oh, no, he's been spotted, though. That's the problem. Now Furlan. Oh, my good God, Max. Throws the molly to make sure a second man isn't there. He knows his attention should be on sight as he finds himself a second. Really clean counter-strike from him in this round. Tags up. Mezzi to convert. 1v4. Again, similar situation where a 3k could be found. But I think the amount of weapons is so overwhelming. He's going to be looking for the gun here, Snatchy, out towards the B position where Crucial was 1D dirty doors, but absolutely nothing. The gun was thrown off the map, and all of a sudden, you know, this is a 6-4 scoreline right back in this game. Endpoint.
Yep, and well, Snatchy might just consider holding onto his armor, and indeed he will. He'll have his armor for the next round, so he will be able to buy an op behind it, have some utility even to play with. The rest of Ego, this will be the full buy-in. So, all things being considered, there will be a chance for Ego to battle back in this next one. But 4 in a row here for Endpoint, nothing to be ashamed of, that's for sure. That's for certain. As well as, well, surviving with 4 players will definitely boost that economy up even further. So this is an opportunity here for Ego to start, well, rather for Endpoint to start grinding back. But we'll have a little bit of an intermission, a bit of delay for that inevitable comeback, perhaps. Maybe it is inevitable, maybe it isn't. Of course, anything is up in the air. Everything is up in the air still here on Vertigo, with Ego leading 6-4. We still have a bit of an advantage to play with, but a bit of a delay, a bit of a technical pause. But so far here from Endpoint, it's looked great here from Mezzi. Mezzi has just been having a series so far. Even though he might have fallen by the wayside on Mirage, he went 28-17. He was top of the server, far and away the top of the server. Next up was Rollin on 25, but even losing 16-12, that is a monumental achievement. And he's keeping it up here on Vertigo. I'd say he have the lion's share of the impact frags, if you agree with me on that point, Retro.
Yeah, I would argue the similar thing. I mean, you could see this is exactly where technical timeouts have a great factor, right? Is that you see at this point in time, there's no control of the microphones, I don't believe, so we could see everyone just waiting patiently. Endpoint probably talking things through, you know, what's good in this game of Counter-Strike, what's going right for them, what's going wrong. Thomas, stroke of the beard, thinking about it. Yeah. What are we doing in this round? I wonder. Max, give me something to do here. I'm thinking. What do we do?
Well, yeah, a little stressful of a game. Again, this is an important match here for Endpoint. If you want to keep your sort of hopes alive, you can. I mean, there's an opportunity. The winner of this will be facing off versus Skade in the quarterfinals. And that'll be the big break. You can make your way potentially to a semifinals appearance. I mean, Skade, no easy opponent to say the least, but compared to the other names that are invited in these quarterfinals, Entropic, Complexity, and Furia, I mean, maybe Skade's the better of the lot if you're Endpoint or AGO, depending on who wins this series, of course, to face off against. So winning this match might give you an opportunity to make it to that semifinals and really get your name out there as an organization, as a team, as a roster, to kind of prove yourself in this tournament, or even make a break for LAN Sweet LAN 2022. That's a big sort of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow here.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see who's going to find it. We're still in the round of 16, and we're finally back in the game. Tech pause lifting. Buy back in for both sides. This is a round of Counter-Strike to be played. And we'll see how it pans out, Retro. Let's get this one started.
No, absolutely. Kicking things off here, 4 in a row from Endpoint. A 6-0 start for AGO, but that lead quickly fizzled out to the hands of Endpoint. Peek on through! Snatchy! Lightning fast with the AWP. That is absurd. What a first frag. Mezzy trying to spam back through, find a quick kill of some regard. Rowland up close to this ramp smoke. I'm not a big fan of the play. And, well, yeah, I mean, you're on your own, you're in on ramp, you've got a 5v4, and you go aggressive. Not too sure about that play from AGO. I guess when you commit, you have to keep committing. And I think at this point in time, Endpoint got to take their time. Just think things through now. 4v4, gifted a chance.
Seems like they're going to be taking the bomb back towards this B site on the back of Mezzy in this 4-on-4. Snatchy will be the man with the AWP in this one. So he's up to the task here at the generator, but the flashbangs are good to force him off the line. Now he's blindsided by Mezzy, of course. Who else to do it? 3-on-4. Nade's going to be deployed on in. And how can AGO attempt this retake? They do have a couple of Molotovs to deploy, but they're all flubbed. They flubbed the mollies. As well as Endpoint have a couple of their own, and that'll beckon AGO off. They get the opening frag, but nothing else. They give up the bomb site, and the bomb goes down. AGO don't want to try their hand at this one. This will be a 5th one in a row for Endpoint, and this is a way to battle back on your map pick.
100%. I'm wondering now, what's the end goal? What's the idea for Endpoint heading in, or for AGO, excuse me, heading into the next round? Because I think at this point in time, looking at the money, you're not really at the best place to invest. However, 4-round loss bonus, I mean, now, if you had 3 alive, I'd understand. Now with 2, what do? I think you've got to eco this round, right? You've got more players to drop that can drop, so money is going to dwindle on someone, no doubt about it, and there you go. Had they have kept 3 alive, I was 99% sure we'd see a buy. But now only with 2, they have to take an eco. They want to have a good buy into round 13, and so we're given a chance. Endpoint, they could tie things up here. 6 apiece it seems to be, because the buy here from AGO, lackluster to that of the T side.
Now they can just make their way up ramp. They can take all the space they can. There's simply no utility. There's not really an aggressive resistance here from AGO. It's going to be really tough to post up a real sort of bomb site hole. It will be down to some fragging here, and maybe some spam, maybe some luck going the way of the Pulse, or a mistake made by Endpoint. That's what's going to be needed. This round should be a guarantee, but that is a shot and a half from Rollin. Frag back in for Crucial, and he'll line up a double for himself, keeping this one fiery. Lehman can only post up 1 in spite of all of that. And Snatchy in the 1 versus 3. What a play from Crucial.
So slick, so quick, easy as you like. I mean, maybe a bit lucky for the lineup, but the thing is, had they have not lined up, no doubt about it, there would have been a trade there. Really nice shot from Rowland. But yeah, Crucial, nice first kill, slowed right down, and then look at this. You've got to think, right, if they weren't lined up, if Furlan stays alive, he whips out his pistol, he'll find that kill. No doubt about it. Heading into this one, though, round 13, we did mention it is a full buy from a party of AGO, and as well as that, so many guns brought forward by Endpoint. Money starting to blossom and just spiral out of control here. AGO, very aggressive towards ramp. Molly is going to catch Furlan. Max gifted the audio cue and a first kill on the board here. just, I would say, ridiculous aggression here from the CT side. Max getting away with his life. Molly dropped in deep. They're more than happy to give up the A control because they're going to send it B. Really, really impressed stuff here from Endpoint.
Just able to receive the aggression with open arms and a free bomb site for themselves. And the question is for Ego, do you even attempt this? They'll take a look in. If you can get an extra frag, maybe bring this down to a 4-on-4, that would put this round still into question. But even in this 4-on-5, you're missing a lot of utility, a lot of the kits necessary, and not quite the positioning. Max will give them one back. Will that beckon them forward? Not anymore. Mezzi will send Viku packing. And that makes it a 3-on-4. This will be undoable for Ego. They will go ahead and retreat, hold on to their guns if Endpoint want to let them. Actually, here in CT spawn will make its presence heard. Not quite connecting the shot onto Mezzi, surprisingly, but alright. I don't think this hunt will be panning out the way the Brits intend to, and they should be able to hold on their guns. Rowland has Surreal, dead to rights, and there you go. That will do it. This will be 7, though. 7 in a row for Endpoint Retro. That is just something incredible.
Absolutely. I have no clue how Ego have slipped up or how Endpoint have changed things. I don't want to pin it on one factor. I think it's a matter of both. But you've got to think, there's no way you should allow this. At 6-0, this should have been a 2-0 sweep. Ego needed to continue that momentum. And now, on the back foot, Endpoint right back into this game. Round 14. Let's see what they can do. Again, aggressive stances taken for Ego, this time towards B, and one in on ramp. I'm really unsure about this aggression from Ego. It hasn't worked out once on this ramp aggression, and they continue to try and throw it together. Early damage done, benefiting the T side once again. One round away from success at half-time here for the T side of Endpoint. Shot missed, but Mighty Max to retrieve, and a second kill could be on the horizon here as he does spot out Rowland, I do believe, but he's able to back away to sight. Really, really good stuff.
Already getting an opener here if you are Endpoint, and feeling good. You have all this ramp control. You can really leverage the peaky side rotations. You can really play whatever game you want. It's just up to the success of it. There is a bit of an aggression through the smoke here. Rollin looking to get a bit frisky here on the A ramp, and he'll get very, very quickly. Mighty Max will also spam down Lehman as just the cherry on top, as if this round wasn't already cooked. It's a 2-on-5, and Ego will be trying to save for the final round, the 15th round of this game. Oh, they're even pushing smoke. Yeah, that's just disgusting, man. That is just... Alright, man. You can see the confidence is just flowing here for Endpoint. Viku will try to hold on to his M4, but all things considered, that was just a fantastic round of Counter-Strike, or maybe you can consider it being the other way. Maybe Ego weren't playing up to their standards there.
Absolutely. Heading into a very important last half. I've got to think, what is going wrong for Ego? I mean, the inability to find an opener, I would pin it down to more or less. I think that this is a game in which Endpoint had no business in winning. 6 rounds in, they were 6-0 down. 14 rounds in, they're 8-6 ahead. I do not believe what we're witnessing right now from Endpoint. Really strong stuff. Heading into the last of the half. I mean, the buy for Ego, it's there. We've got the rifles, the utility to back it. Not as much. Endpoint, confidence radiating. You can see now a bit more free flowing. Thomas needed to find the opener and maybe a bit too confident there. And that is that one done.
Even there, I mean, Endpoint are going to have to try and battle back this Mandus advantage. Well, there is Crucial's still present, but they're still furling up close. The bomb is also dropped as well. This is looking like an Ego round, unless Surreal wants to turn it around. Picks off one. Has an isolated player in Viku, and what a shot in from Mighty Max. Down range, down goes Lehman. 3-on-3 all of a sudden, but he will give it back. Rollin will bring it back. Surreal on the other side of the map. This is just an absolutely crazy round, playing both sides of the coin here, or Endpoint, and it's allowing Mezzi to walk up to this A side. This is, I mean, I wouldn't call it genius, But in some realms of possibility, it's working here for Endpoint. They have the A site. They just need to rotate the bomb back over. Mezzi with advanced positioning. And this should enter into a 2 versus 2 post plant, unless Ajo want to say something about it.
Well, let's see. Let's see indeed. 30 seconds to go. Smoke deployed. Molotov as well. And now, Molly in towards the default box. Surreal got to be careful. Really good utility usage from Rowland. And that denies the plant. A grenade goes deep. He's flash. He's going to push through. The grenade hit him though. I think Endpoint know this. They've got to stick the plant at some point or another. It's another tap. Mezzi finds one. Mezzi finds two. And it's Endpoint with 9. Tally to success. Great half from Endpoint from a 6-0 disadvantage. They're out on top at the half. 9-6. It's 9 in a row from Endpoint. Class Counter-Strike action. Endpoint on the CT side. My oh my, is that a response? Is that a play? Is that a round that they needed?
Fantastic there. Mezzi again is just delivering round after round. He delivered there first. Deagle 1-on-2. And then just, it's all the rest of Endpoint able to bring it back. Mighty Max has been having some fantastic shooting, as well as Thomas. At times, it's been great all across the board here, ever since they've gotten just some wind in their sails for the Endpoint camp. And now they have to continue it here on the CT side. Ego aren't going to let go that easily here. It's a pistol round. It's a must-win one if you are Ego. You need to take this if you don't want this game to slip through your fingers. But even then, they do have this cushion. There will be Ancient after this if we need a third, if we need it, if Ego are going to allow us to have it.
Well, let's wait and see. Right now, very slow from the Ego side. Endpoint anticipating the A play, triple stack, and they are correct in assuming that. But the lane,
they snuck by.
Yeah, is exactly where they're playing from. No one would have checked this angle, right? No one's holding it for Endpoint. And so I do believe they know, yeah, you can see Surreal aiming it just in case. The fight towards ramp, but the lane pressure's in. They've got to be careful. It's a fight up front, but there's a fight in on behind. Thomas down. Crucial and Surreal need to pull up huge now. Both dipping away out of harm's way. 4v4. Max trying to flank in. Nice shot from Surreal. Max needs to find the kill, can't. It's up to Mezzi now to hold the integrity of the A play. And hold on a minute, what's going on for Ego? They're splitting up. They have found a kill somewhere though, and it's out towards A. But the bomb is out in the open. Surreal isolates a 1-on-1. Lehman against 2 now. Mezzi drops the molly. He presses through. Lehman not done just yet, but it's Surreal on the other angle. He anticipated the CT play, and Lehman out on top. Nicely done. Ego back in the game as they find themselves a 7th.
Lovely shooting there from Lehman as well. He just says, you know what, screw this. Screw the middleman of this 1 versus 1. We're just going to go and take the fight directly to you, Mr. Surreal. And boy, does he do it. Look at this swing. This is just fantastic work. Bang, just a second bullet on the move. Just fantastic work. And a very needed pistol round for Ego. And their opportunity to close this one 2-0 gets a little bit closer. Galil's in hand. It will be up to Endpoint if they do want to silence them. And okay, an opening frag in from Surreal. Quickly traded back by Snatchy. Keeping this one level. It's still 4-on-4.
Damage done by both ways towards ramp as well. It's not impossible. Not by any standard. Thomas jiggle peeking in the headshot angle. He will be caught out. Molotov goes in deep. And that's exactly where Ego try and exploit. More damage done. Mighty Max finds a second kill. Worrying for Ego once again. Smoke deployed. Thomas taking some big damage. A 3v3. Furlan taken out by Thomas. What's going on? Rallying in for a trade, but it's a 2v3. Mighty Max back on site with the AK-47 in hand. And Rowland trying to find a flank. Again, split up. Again, trying to isolate these 1-on-1s Endpoint. And that's exactly where they're succeeding. Got to make it happen here. 2v3. 2 rifles in the hands of Endpoint. 50 seconds to go.
But Endpoint can play around this map. Or rather, Ego can play around the map. They can get on the flank. They can choose multiple different positions. And while Lehman will hit a nice shot on Thomas, Mighty Max will swing for the trade. Now 35 seconds. And Rollin doesn't want to make any sound, so he's going to burn even more time. Having to walk on through. Does spot out Crucial. But he goes down at 24 HP as a result, and his position is very, very well known. Now 20 seconds, and all Mighty Max has to do is watch over the bomb, but he lets Rollin get his hands on it, but Mighty Max won't let him escape. That's a forced buy victory there from Endpoint, and now they have the initiative in this game.
Back and forth. Endpoint with the forced buy response, though. Really, really impressive from them yet again to fight from the disadvantage. That's 2 for 2 now on the CT side, where they've invested in Deagles and they've torn away the round. It was Crucial's 3k in the previous, but I'd argue this round more or less on Mighty Max to have delivered the goods and to find the victory. Grenade goes deep, Thomas, trying to isolate the mid-aggression. Early doors, Fiku taking a bit of damage, however, nothing too substantial going on right now. It is all about timing, all about Ago finding an early advantage, and out the gate, Surreal giving absolutely none of it. Will find Snatchy, 5v4, now turned to 5v3 as Crucial finds another nice shot from Max. Max again, and almighty Max, easy as you like, guns them down, the force buy unsuccessful, and a great triple from him leaves Endpoint heavily in front.
Full eco in from AGO as well. That's going to be, it's likely to, I mean, almost guaranteed to be 12-7. You know what? I'll just say it. I'll call it a guaranteed 12-7, alright? Sorry for all the Endpoint fans, just call it in advance here. Maybe I'm jinxing it early, but
Costs
Mighty
curseness.
Max. Yeah, maybe I just gave the biggest caster curse for this round ever. But we'll see. Mezzy, the safe pair of hands out towards the ramp, and it's looking like not gonna be so whatsoever. And these pistols will get swept aside. This is likely to be a 12-7 half here for... or not half, rather, but it's 12-7 score line here for Endpoint, and really, the rest of these pistols should just be swept aside. And big here for Endpoint. To be able to force a third, huge here. And Surreal also going huge. That'll pocket some good cash for future rounds as well. And that'll do it. Ancient looking very close on the horizon, Retro.
Absolutely. And again, flank played, Surreal, double with the MP9, turns back, surprise, I'm here again. And so that is a lot of cash in his pocket, right? And so heading into 12-7, round 20, we've got an AWP on Crucial, we've still got an MP9 on Thomas, we've got a saved AK on Mezzy, and we've got 5 AK-47s for the T side of Ago. Really nice jump spot from Mezzy. That is so cheeky. I've never seen that before used to that effect. And a second grenade over has done even more damage. 2 players set back to 50 points of health. Ago not looking strong out the gates here of round 20. They're by their first proper investment, and it's not turning out the way I think they expected it to whatsoever.
Yeah, and another player down to 38 as well. It's interesting to think that each one of those players who are below 50 HP, it's a risk for them to try and plant the bomb, and these high HP players even going out towards the ramp, and there's even team kills in the mix. Oh, it's at the seams here for AGO, and Crucial is going to keep it that way. AWP doubling up, leaving just 2 holes remaining. Fiku and Furlan, and Fiku's out of that equation. The nade to finish the job. Furlan just alone, man, walking up towards the ramp. Doesn't even have the bomb on his back. He knows this is over. Endpoint, they can go ahead and just start the hunt here. They got plenty of money to work with. I mean, you rarely see the CT side hunting for the Ts, but, well, maybe the T will give him straight away. 13-7 here. Endpoint are rolling through Vertigo, and they are on just a train without brakes towards Ancient.
Well, half by Deagles, Ago need to find themselves something. Bit of a desperation play, I think. This half investment, and you see now, really, really worried here. 5 nades, I mean, it could be good. We could see that jump again from Mezzy, and that would be the end of his life. And all we might do, good night maybe, and that is exactly what happens. Oh, so many nades expended on Crucial as well. Really good start. One dropped in over the top, possibly for Mighty Max, and look at the HP bars. They disintegrate for Ago. Yes, they found themselves an early gun, but again, the HP now all players open to the one-tap potential for the M4A1Ss, and that's where Endpoint will exceed. A first kill granted back on the board in their favour. Nice aggression, Snatchy. Oh, that is unbelievable. I can't even read the names in the feed. It's Endpoint 14. It's an absolute dismantlement towards A. And look, even Crucial's having a giggle. Ross is in on it as well. Everyone's having a good time for Endpoint, because yes, Ago maybe did some damage more than anticipated on that half buy. However, 2 rounds away. That's all you've got to count here for Endpoint. 2 more and you'll find yourselves on Ancient. From a very, very unfortunate turn of events on Mirage to going 6-0 down on your map pick. It's 14-7. Talk about a one-sided game for Endpoint.
Yeah, just to kind of put this into perspective, the last 15 rounds, Ago has won one singular one of them. And what was that? That was the pistol round of this half, for anyone who was just joining us. So, with all that being considered, it's looking to stay that way. Crucial and Thomas already bringing this one into a 3-on-5, and this is already nigh on impossible for Ago. This is looking like it's going to be match point here on Vertigo, if Lehman can say something about it, but there's nothing to be said when Mezzi's swinging with the M4. Still, Snatchy and Fiku on the bottom here of the ramp. They could claw this back. These are 2 very capable individuals, but with Crucial just holding the line with the AWP, how can you not like it? Like this for Endpoint. It's going to be 15-7. It's going to be map point, and likely we should be seeing Ancient after this one, unless Snatchy wants to do the impossible.
Absolutely. Ridiculous scenes. And I mean, Ago need to be quite cautious on Ancient, I think. This is a whole different Endpoint to what we saw in map 1. It was close, we had some teamwork, but this is ridiculous from Endpoint, and I mean ridiculous in a good way. So good on the trades, really good discipline off the back of each other. I'm just, what a performance here for Endpoint. 15-7, this is the last possibly of this map, because the momentum, 6 in a row, should turn 7. And Ago, they need a Hail Mary break between the 2 maps here. Got to keep their cool for Ancient. That's exactly where we're at. Because Endpoint, I mean, they've got to concede 8 in a row to go to overtime. And I just don't see that happening here from a very strong British side.
Still, the Poles do have the cushion. They do have Ancient to play. And they have looked good on that in previous editions of it. We were able, as a duo, we're able to cast them versus MIBR on that map voice. But yeah, and it seems like Endpoint are trying to expedite their way towards that map as quickly as possible. Surreal even on the secondary, dropping down PQ and call this one done. Put a bow on it, stick a fork in it, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's all the same. It's done here. Lehman on 16 HP should just be food for a Brit. And soon that will be the case. Shoulder spotted and shot found. That will do the map. After a short break, we'll be sending this one straight to Ancient, and it's all smiles up in the Endpoint camp. We'll be moving over to our decider to see who will be facing off versus Skade in the quarterfinals after a short break.
Are you ready to experience the next step in esports entertainment? Don't just watch the game. Become a part of it. Make predictions, compete against others, win prizes. Stream cards. Sign up for the closed beta now.